Yes, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, my brothers and sisters. Big up my bros in the building. I see you from early. Khal, my brother, salam. Yes, SS, we're there. What's good, my brothers and sisters? Was popping, alhamdulillah. And I just want to start off with, this topic I've been hell and down. I've been searching left, right, center, up and down, trying to gather more information, trying to find out what's leaking, what's popping. And as the title says, many have perished last night, and I don't know, man. And obviously been a bit busy talking about another thing recently, and so I really want to get into this. I found this type of video. I want to watch this for the first couple of minutes. What you guys' thoughts? And again, any of the mods or any of the SS family that knows more, that knows better, that knows more than me, please don't be shy to jump in and break out information now. But this is one of the videos I found so far, and this is from SSTV. That's not us, by the way. That's not us. That's not us. So let me know your thoughts.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته كلنتي وعنا وناكسن داوديال kusoo dhawaada barnaamijkeena dhabka hadal qaybtan waxaan kaga hadli doonaa waxa maanta deegaanka Soomaalida ka dhacay magaalooyinkiisa kala duwan banaanbax ama mudaharaad ballaaran kaasi oo la sheegay in laga soo horjeedo dhibaatadii iyo xasuuqii ay maleeshiyaadka argagixisada ah ee canfartu u geysteen dadka Soomaaliyeed ee ku dhaqan galbeedka gobolka City haddaba waxaynu eegi doonaa banaanbaxaasi oo markii hore lagu soo waramayay in lagu taageeri doono dawladda dhexe ee Ethiopia iyo hawlgallada ay kula jirto kooxda TPLF ayaynu eegi doonaa in dharan rog lagu sameeyay iyo in ujeedadu aysan sida ahayn ujeedadu ahayd in lagu taageero shacabka gobolka City arintaasi ayaynu dul istaagi doonaa waxa ila jooga saaxiibkay Jaamac Xasan Cabdulla Jaamac ku soo dhaweey marka hore kadib wax nooga sheegtaa banaanbaxan maanta ka dhacay deegaanka Soomaalida horta ma meel gaar ah ka dhacay mise deegaanka dhanbu ka dhacay
bismillaahir rahmaanir rahiim wa salaamu ya gudahanba ummadda Soomaaliyeed meel kasta oo ay joogaan waxaan leeyahay salaamullaahi calaykum nuuro marka la fiiriyo mudaharaadka waxa uu ka dhacay gudahanba deegaanka Soomaalida ama yaani inta badan goobaha ama magaalooyinka muhiimka ee deegaanka Soomaalida ka dhacay mudaharaadka marka waa mudaharaad ballaaran oo shacabka Soomaaliyeed runtii ay u soo baxeen intii karaankooda ah looguna talagalay kulleydii in lagu muujiyo shacairka ama maaragtay shucuurta shacabka Soomaaliyeed iyo sida ay uga xun yihiin kooxahan dad qalatada ah ee dhibaatada ummadda Soomaaliyeed mar walba maaragtay la daba taagan inta badan shacabku way muujiyeen aragtidooda iyo dareenkooda iyo sida ay maaragtay ugu heelan yihiin inay u heeliyaan walaalahooda dhibaataysan dhibaatadu ay gaarka u noqotay dal iyo dawlad difaacdana waayay marka waxa weeyaan mudaharaadku waa si fiican buu uga dhacay deegaanka Soomaalida waa lagu kala baday magaalo walba nimba taagtiba qodox ugu tagtaa baa la yiri de meesha 10 qof joogeen haday 5 ka soo banaan baxday meesha 100 kun ku nool haday 20 ka soo banaan baxday dareenka shacabka Soomaaliyeed
jaamac banaan baxan marka loo iman doona in ujeedadu wixii ka goray banaan baxan maamulka deegaanka qabtay mise shacabka iyagu isku gadado soo banaan baxay
ma shacabka deegaanku waxa ma qabtaanba wixii loo sheegay un bay qabtaan shacabka deegaanku waxa ma qabtaan shacabka deegaanku waxba ma qabtaan wixii loo sheegay ma qabtaan oo hadii la way ooyaan qosla hadii la way qoslaan marka maanta ooya la yiri oo hayeen maamulkana yiri oo maartayto wax uu maamulku ka dambeeyay ahayd marka waa shaqo maamulku
soo marka iyagu iskooda ma soo bixinay waa
ma iyagu iskooda ma soo bixi karaan baxta ayagu iskooda ma soo bixi karaan waa kaasa marka waxa weeyaan marka waa shaqo maamulku qabtay weeyaan ha maamulka ka dambeeyay soo abaabulay isaga maartayto hawshan maartayto ya ugu talagalay in bulshadu ay soo baxdo oo lagu muujiyo dareenka iyo aragtida shacabka Soomaalida
way dhibaatadan canfarta ay ku hayso shacabka galbeed city
hay way ma aha halkaas kaliya ma aha wax isku raran buu ahaa
isku raran
ma mudaharaadkii hore baa horta loo sii iclaamiyay Ethiopia dhan baa mudaharaadaysa oo maalmahan baa
Ethiopia waa tii hore mudaharaadaysa
ma joojisaba marka in lagu daraa la rabay waxa soo dhaxgalay marka kan maartay dhibaatada canfartu ay geystay oo dad 500 oo qof aan ka yarayn lagu dilay lagu xasuuqay oo qaar nolosha lagu la tagay dhibaatadana marka yaani waxay noqotay wax walba ka weyn oo in kasta oo dawladdu sidii la rabay ayna uga hadlin oo wali maartay codka dawladda ka soo baxay aan ku qanacsanayn haddana ugu yaraan in la yiraahdo bal dadku shucuurta ha muujiyaan oo hala tuso dadkii dhibaatadu gaadhay baaqiga ka soo hadhayna in wali maartay dad nool oo Soomaaliya ay jiraan loo muujiyo kuwa cadowga ah dibka geystana iyagana loo muujiyo wali Soomaali nool in iyagana jirto oo labada dhinacba qolana loogu hilinayo qolana maartay loogu jiba tuuranayo oo ahaa haddana waxa weeyaan mudaharaadkan markiisii hore wuxuu ahaa mid si qorshaysan buu ahaa oo loogu talagalay in lagu maartay lagu taageero ma hawlgalka amxaarada wax dawladdu ku jirta maartay hawlgal ma jiraan hawlgalka axmaarada lagu difaacayo baa lagu yaala doonay in lagu taageero muhiimadu inta weeyaan
way hawlgalka dawladda dhexe ay ku jirto ayaynu oranaynaa
adaa dhihi aanu ma dhahay
aad baa maasantahay way jaamacan halka ka gudubno markaan fiirino banaanbaxan ama axmaaraha lagu taageero ama xanfar lagaga soo horjeedsaday yaa ka hadlay oo mas'uul
يا هرتا مسؤولين إلى أي هذا كهذا مسؤولين الصومالي وقتها وضد سكنوا كلا ويان هل منها واحد يسكب علي أو محنك ولا هاي أرجع لحسة سعيدتك
واقع
قدوميها قبل كشرة أحمد برع
هي
يا ضدك كل حشري
نعرضي
ها
أو بنبعي سوي
ها ما أحمد برع نفع البدن وهي أنا كوا قانون ونفع البدن وهي يسوي رمبا في عانه ولينا الضمير كيسوا نول يحي لكن انت كواحد مده معمولات dadka shacabka ahaan bay soo direen caruur iyo haween qalqayliya waana meelaha fariimaha laga diro waa mudaharaadyada iyo goobaha maaragtay bulshadu isugu timaado xilligan kale waxa ay madaxweynaha deegaanka Soomaalidu inuu hogaamiyo mudaharaadka magaalada Jigjiga ka dhacay isagu inuu hogaamiyahay maxaan ku leeyahay wasiirada in loo kala diro gobolada oo nin walba deegaankii uu ka yimid oo loo diray ahayd gudoomiyaasha goboladu inay iyagu ka qayb qaataan oo sida Axmed Biric uu la socday maxaan ku ilaahay to mudaharaadkii magaalada ka dhacay oo kale gudoomiye gobol walba in uu dadkiisa la socdo oo isagu uu hormuud u ahdo boorka ugu weyn uu watay ahayd sababtoo dareen shacab baa la muujinayaa ficil baa la muujinayaa aragti Soomaaliyeed baa la xambaarsan yahay wadaniyad iyo difaac dad Soomaaliyeed oo maalin walba dulmi lagu leenayo 500 oo qof oo cid ay dambi ka galeen iyo wax maaragtay inay kaliya u dhintay inay Soomaali yihiin yaa maaragtay loo baroor diiqay cadowgoodiina la rabay in loo muujiyo in maaragtay dadkan wali ay leeyihiin dad u hiilinaya oo ay maaragtay bari kamaan waxay rabaan ay samayn karaan marka waxaad moodaa waa la soo diray dadkii haweenkii carruurtii baa la aablo orday qalqaliyo baa la yiri Tallaahi Soomaaliya in baa la yiri bis hadii waa la kala hoyday laakiin mudaharaadku waxa rabay inuu inta ka weynaado in uu noqdo
madaxweynaha deegaanka ka hadlay
madaxweynaha deegaanka meel ka hadlay ma arag meel ka hadlay laakiin hadii ka hadlayna waa la arki lahaa jisho mudaharaad Soomaaliyeed oo Tallaahi Soomaaliya ku haysa marka Tallaahi Soomaaliya kaliya looma baahnay waxa la rabay hoggaanku dadka inuu hoggaamiyo waa goobaha eg salaada ciid oo ka qayb galaan madaxdu oo dadka wali tukada
How about some dance?
It's not on, is it?
Oh.
I might go pro.
sidan oo kale dhiigga qofka muslimka ah yaa hadana wax walba ka qaalisan oo adduunkan oo dhanba ka qaalisan dhiiggii qofka muslimka ahaa ee la daadiyay ee waliba dulmiga iyo xaqdarrada lagu daadiyayna inay dhahaan waa ka xunnahay waa awoodi laayihiin afhayeenkii dowladdu ma soo raacin nin ma aqaan mashalay baa la magacaabay maxaan ku dhahay meel la hadlahayay Facebook magaciisa ku arkahayay hebel bedel la yiraahdo waa afhayeenka dowladda shalay igu horeysay
wasiirka warfaafinta laga wadaa
maya afhayeenkii waa kala laba show adoo qof afhayeenka dowladda lagu sheegay
wasiirka warfaafinta wey
mama kan afhayeen baa lagu sheegay afhayeenka xukuumadda deegaanka Soomaalida asaga xitaa dadkii lama soo
ma afhayeen bay leeyahay
ها شيء وانا كل حاله إلا مقعد وانا مرة مركب وحوي مهمة ده وحيد هاي مركب سيدنا وكلا أي وحوش جيران ما لاحظوا وأنا الشعب كده حموقته ما لاحظوا وأنا فعل كذا يدرين كذا موتشيان ويجي يبرشدوا إني إسكو أركتيهين إني موتشيان يلو بهاي لكن أنت تذكر الصادر إن يجي على إسكا فريستان تاسيمارت ما موتشنيسو هو جانيمو مسؤوليات ما موتشنيسو درين كشعب كصوماليات وإن أي كتر جنتا ما لاحظوا مدحوينه مصطفى وحو مدحوينه ku yahay inuu dareenka iyo shacabka shacabka Soomaaliyeed min mooyaane ilaa iyo maxaan ku ilaahay meesha la yiraahdo ay shaciye afdam jooga inuu ku hadlo dareenkooda iyo waxa ay qabaan maalinka farxsan yihiin uu hadlo isagoo farxsan oo dareenkooda uu ku hadlo maalinka cadhaysan yihiin uu hadlo isagoo cadhaysan oo ka turjumaya dareenka shacabka Soomaaliyeed meel uu joogay tacsiba u taala wala wada murugaysan yahay wala maxaan ku ilaahay dad baa maanta banaanka waran meedkoodii aan wali la aasin qaar baa haadu cuntay qaar baan geeri iyo nolol meel ay ku sugan yihiin ilaa iyo hadda aan laga warqabin bas waxa weeye waa laga aamusay haddii salaad ciid tahay waa loo soo bixilaa safka hore la fariisan lahaa marka waxa weeyaan
okay mudaharaadka BB lagu taageerayo madaxda safka hore taagan tahay
dama ka kursiga lagu waxaan oo dhan KBBna kursiga lagu ilaalinaya marka safka hore taagan yahay kan marka la dambaynayo ee aan la soo baxayna kursiga lagu ilaalinaya sababtoo ah yani kalsooni baan jirin madaxweynaha deegaanka Soomaalida maanta haduu ku kalsoon yahay shacabkiisa iyo bulshadiisa oo uu aaminsan yahay in shacabkiisu wax u dhiibteen waxna ay ka qaadi karaan una kalsooni ku qabo inuu iyaga wax ku yahay waxa weeyaan safka hore u imaan lahaa laakiin ma aaminsana inuu dadkiisa wax ku yahay isagaan aaminsanayn mid taliye ciidanahan aaminsanayn mid wasiirahan aaminsanayn mid xildhibaanahan aaminsanayn mid maxaa gudoomiye tuulo ahaan aaminsanayn
laakiin marba
ka sareeyo in wax ku yahay oo wax ka dhigay uu aaminsan
way jamcu marba hadda iyagu banaanbaxan abaabuleen oo ay soo qaban qaabiyeen oo shacabka ay soo bixiyeen sidee gadaal u mari karaan
waxay gadaal u mariyaan mudaharaadkan markii hore waxa loogu talagalay in lagu taageero deegaanka Axmaarada laakiin kana ka soo dhaxgashay mudaharaadkii marka uu dhacay soo deegaanka Axmaarada lagu taageeray haddii meesha ay soo istaagaan waxay ka baqayaan iyagoo la afar waa iska cilinaa hadii la arko mudaharaadkii Allah haydeen wixii Tigray waa iska cilinaa baa la reebo kan jooga maayarka magaalada Diradhabe yaa wuxuu soo qoray waxa mudaharaadka lagaga soo horjeedaa maxaan ku ihahdaa TPLF oo anfar dabada ka riixaysa aniga ugu aqli badnaa anfarta ay TPLF dabada ka riixaysa iyo maca TPLF dabada lagaga soo horjeedaa buu leeyahay أركو حاول وحي بوصل عن باري مود
أرجع سووا فعلا
أرجع سووا فعلا وحي بوصل الشيء مركب حاول يهدي وحي إلا وضع الشيء أنا يقدر نفذ كذا واسك عقل مقده وضد كان وحاول وضد دبان ضد أنا ملاحظة إنه أيجي بعد دبان
واي
قف مركب سجي دباتي سنبر أنا جينا أنت سيحك حاجة بالله يا تبى وقف كرسي اللي ما له باللوجو هنشبه يدد ساير ويساسن كيرنا تسايروا deegaanka Soomaalida iyo madaxdiisa maanta Mustafa Maxamed Umar baa u baahan in la xoreeyo.
If you need a new website for your business, don't skip this video. Millions
ayaa laga xoreey
Axmaaro wallahi billahi isaga u baahan maanta in la xoreeyo sababtoo ah kalsoonidii balaa dhan hareeraha ka cunaysaa xagga qaar baa ka soo jeeda xagga qaar baa ka soo jeeda xaafadii oo dhan baa xaafadooda dhinac bay u gunuunaysaa Soomaa kuwaas ku cararaya marka wax u dhaama male wax u dhaama male marka waxa la joogaa hal dhig maadii baa kursiga ka qaadanaya waxa dhibka jira wuxuu yahay marka qofkii Soomaaliga ahaa wuxuu u arkayaa Soomaalidii kale yaa dhib ku ah waana xaqiiq jirta weeyaan qof walba kursiga waa rabaa Mustafa kursiga waa rabaa maadii waa rabaa qaar kale way rabaan nin walba wuu rabaa marka dee ninkii kursiga kugu xajinayo baa isku tihiin ka qaadanaya kursigana dee waxba isma tihiin
واي وجاء ما ضد
لكن سيدا uma oga waxaad moodi in siyaabo kale la isku ereriyanayo Soomaali jecel inuu yahay dhibaatada laakiin kursiga ale إنه واحد بدن كأمس
واحد
بدن
عبد الله يسوي
يا
كرسي مرتدوي
ها لا ترى كرسي قال ممكن كرسي هدي ومر فيريو وحويان wax kale oo dhan qofku miir beelayaa
waa mahadsantahay jaamacu waan soo qoraasaynayna banaanbaxan hadda maanta deegaanka Soomaalida qaybihiisa kala duwan ama magaalooyinkiisa kala duwan tuulo degmo gobol ilaa iyo caasimadda ka dhacay muxuu ka qaban karaa xaaladdan ka taagan garbaciisa iyo cundhuf iyo cadhayd
والله وحبوك قبل كرا وفرين هرتا سيدا بعض مظاهرات مقشو دمبال بلوغ بنيا دمبال
جال لو تلا غليا دمبال كانو
ما اما تاغير ايا لوغ بنيا marka shacabka Soomaaliyeed waxay gudbiyeen fariin cad bay gudbiyeen oo waxa ka socda garbaciisa ama galbeedka gobolka City nin jiidka la haya jiriidka kama qoslo Soomaaliya oo dhan baa dhiig baxaysa Soomaaliya oo dhan baa dhiigeedu qubanaya meydkii qof kasta oo Soomaaliya isagoo meedaha banaanka meydkiisu yaala inta gabdhaha iyo wiilasha garbaciisa iyo galbeedka gobolka City maxaan ku leeyahay uu meydkoodu banaanka yaalo qof kasta oo Soomaaliya iyo ka dhigantahay inuu meydkiisu banaanka yaalo sidaa daraadeed waa fariin cad oo diidma oo lagu muujinayo waxa halka ka socda inaan la aqbalayno Soomaaliya aysan ogolayn waxay rabaan marka dadku wax ku hogaamiya maanta waan aaminsanahay anfar dib dambe inaan loo arkeen haddii xitaa reer City kaliya la abaabulo dadkii laakiin hoggaan bay u baahan adduunka waa hoggaan weyn nabi alayhi salaatu wasalaam laba qof markuu meel u dirayo hoggaan ka dhigi jiray ummaddu hoggaan kama maaranto ummaddu jahayn iyo maxaan ku ilaahdaayo kama maaranto iyo hagid marka waxa weyn ummadan hoggaankeedii baa midaan iyada ka soo dhaxbixin oo cirka ka soo dhacay maalin walba markii hoggaan cirka ka soo dhacay lagu keeno isagu dantiisa buu ilaashanaya marka muhiimadda waxay tahay dambaalka Soomaalidu ay isku mid tahay min mooyaale ilaa iyo ay shaca iyo afdam inta u dhaxaysa ilaa iyo firfir ilaa iyo hawaas Soomaalida daadsan xuduudaasi maartay xaaraanta ku hoos jira gumaysiga Ethiopia ku hoos jira inay isku jiir tahay inay isku mid tahay inay ul yadiirka tahay in kii maanta la xanuunsada ay la xanuunsanayaan dambaalka la diraya waa ka weeyaan waxaan marka dhihi lahaa shacabka Soomaaliyeed yaani hoggaankeena waynu ognahay hoggaankeena wuxuu haleeyana laguma canaanan karo wuxuu hagaajiyana laguma bogaadin karo حقيقة laga hadlaa moogtay markii xaasib dhab aan wada hadlayno Mustafa maanta wuxuu wanaajiyo waa sax in lagu bogaadiyo laakiin oo waa rakarooni laakiin hadiiba uu sameeyo rag kala sheeganayo wanaaga oo rag isaga meesha u soo dhiibtay maxaan ku ilaahay hadii uu wax haleeyo yaani waxa weyn rag kale ayaa mas'uuliyadeeda leh oo isagii maanta kulama xisaabtami karo dandar Mustafa maxaad qabatay maxaad ii dhiibatay baa ka horeyso maxaad noo qabatay hadaan dharan anigu meelblaan sanadka kan baan reer jigjigaanahay maxaad noo qabatay degmada jigjiga oo maxaad
waa u dhibanay nin la doortaan sii dooranay Soomaa
kama ka sii doortay baa ka soo doortay la sii doortay waa dambeynaya meel aan ku dooranay ma jirto marka waxa weeye marka dhahdo maxaa
madaxweyne u yeedhayna hadaan doortay
wala inooga dhigay waka tano kuwa hore waa nalooga dhigay inta la soo qabto ninka la keeno baan dhigi jiray kan doorta مسؤول Soomaaliya Cabdi Maxamed Nuur baa ka horeeyay inta soo sharaxay wuxuu deegaanka Soomaalida u qabanayo ma sheegin Daawud Maxamed Cali baa ka horeeyay inta soo sharaxay muuna dhigay waxa aan idin qabanaya nin walba fartan baa lagu fiiqay hadda ka horna deegaanka Soomaalida gabar waaxid mid leeyahay joogi jiray Tigrayan
aad baa maanta markaa soo gabagabeynaya dad Soomaaliyeed baa waxay qabaan jaamacow ciidankii garbaciisa difaaci lahaa axmaar difaaciya adu aragtida ma aaminsan
وحقيقة وين وحلا ما وأمينات ما واحد مقضي ويان وليش الصوماليات والبيئة ملية هي كمان كجا عرين مات
الجيودة هذا ما زنداي جامع قال ضيو كاسيها داوديال أنت سانكوسو جبجبيو غضب كان أنت عن مركل كل مدون سداسيو في أمان الله.
Yes, alaikum assalam to all. Yeah, cool stars came up with something. Yes. Finally, Giuseppe, you're back. I can see you. I see you. Is that you? You're coming. I think it works. Great points. Towards the end as well, I like to know when the guys said, don't even know who should we choose. But I really want to find out Yeah, big up Sister Faye in the building. Yeah. That's what the man say. I don't even know. It's an interesting question there, SD. It's an interesting question to our neighbors. Okay, I'm thinking to myself, this happened the other day recently, yeah. I'm still trying my best to find out the best type of sources and information they are coming from of what really took place and what really occurred. You get what I'm coming from. For me, like I said, I think we've been busy on the channel for the last couple of days with the recent incident and whatnot. And it was in the back of my mind, you know. Don't say it's my mic is acting up. Is my mic? Okay, 1 second. Yo, can you guys hear me? Let me know if it's working now. Let me know if it's working now. 1 second. Let me know if it's working now. Let me. Yeah, I say no more. Say no more. Yeah, guys. Yeah, like I'm saying, I hope I don't know where I cut off. Let me start again. After the video. Basically, I'm saying, yeah, I'm trying to basically I found out. I think I found out about this case. As we were streaming, or maybe the evening before the stream that I did yesterday. Yeah, that's it. And then I thought to myself, you know, boom. The more I looked at the shows, and you know, I'm a big fan of SSTV. No pun intended. Not our channel. The actual channels. They cover amazing work from They break down straight facts. I think Pontai General said it. He said it straight. Yeah, man. These brothers here, they speak facts. And yeah, what's going on? It's the same again, bro. Okay, fuck it. 1 second. Yeah, hello? Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if you guys can hear me now, man. I had to change my whole headset. I'm pissed. I need to sort this out. Yeah. Yeah? Perfect. Alright, saying nothing. And you know what? I prefer the Bluetooth headsets because, you know, you get to move around. It's much better. Very, very, but I don't know what is happening. Yeah, guys, anyway, let's get back into it. Yeah. What was I talking I was talking about, this story. When it broke out, I'm just thinking, where's the numbers? I'm trying to find some more of this. Was it Abanambah? The people come out and were they protesting? And then did they get sprayed? How much is the numbers? Because so far there's 300 numbers running around, the 400 numbers running around. It makes you think, like 400 or 300 dots Somali, like that just got murdered, that just got killed, like, and then the whole, like, I don't know whether, because I saw it, big up, what's his name? I think Mali Entertainment on Instagram. He's one guy that highlighted this story as well, so I think he broke it out, or someone on Twitter. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, again, y'all know me, man. I'm always gonna ask, where's the outrage? Where is the community? Just like the brother said in the video, this should, from Haga to Haga, should get people's blood boiling and something. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because if these numbers and stuff are accurate and these lives don't mean nothing and we're not making noise, what does that say about us? Is this how we're more disconnected? Do you get where I'm coming from? So that's the type of questions I'd like to ask today. And like I say, if any of the mods right now have got any more better links and stuff like that, let me know. Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah, guys, let me know if my headset's act up again. But 1 second, let me just do it this way. Do this.
Over the past year, having a business profile with Google has been really important.
Claim your free business profile on Google so you can manage your hours, safety information, and upload photos of your business.
agaasimaha hay-adda nabad sugidda Soomaaliya ee NISA Fahad Yaasiin Xaaji Daahir ayaa maanta waxa uu magacaabay agaasimaha shaqaalaha NISA xilli toddobaadkii hore ra'iisul wasaaraha Soomaaliya uu xilka ka qaaday Cabdulaahi Kulane oo xilkaasi ku magacownaa kadib markii lagu eedeeyay inuu jabiyay amar ra'iisul wasaaraha Soomaaliya uu soo saaray kaasi oo ku saabsanaa inaan la celin karin siyaasiyiinta kuwooda ku wajahan deegaan doorashadooda. Fahad Yaasiin Xaaji Daahir ayaa magacaabay Cabbaas Yacquub madaxa shaqaalaha hay-adda NISA ayuuna u magacaabay. Sarkaalkan ayaa ka mid ahaa hoggaanka sare ee NISA waxa uuna hayay xilka maamulka maaliyadda iyo tiknoolajiyadda. Ra'iisul wasaaraha Soomaaliya ayaa xilka qaadis ku sameeyay taliye xigeenkii NISA Cabdulaahi Kulane iyo taliyihii NISA ee garoonka diyaaradaha aadan cadde toddobaadkii hore.
markana Ethiopia magaalooyinka waaweyn ee gobolada Soomaalida ay ka degto ama gobolada dalkaasi Ethiopia ay Soomaalidu ka degto ayaa maanta waxaa ka dhacaya dibadbaxyo looga soo horjeedo shacabkii Soomaaliyeed ee lagu laayay magaalada Garbaciise ee galbeedka City. waraysi arrintan la xiriira waxaa Yunus Duraan uu la yeeshay wariye Cabdixakiin Gamaadiid oo jigjiga ku sugan.
maanta magaalada Jigjiga Yunus iyo sidoo kale gobolada deegaanka Soomaalida ay ka dhaceen banaabaxyo waaweyn ee la arkay dadyo kala duwan oo markaasi watay boorar ay kugu xarnaayeen calaamadaha ama qoraallo ay ku muujinayaan inay ka xun yihiin xasuuqa loo geysto dadka shacabka ah. sidoo kale waxaa la arkayay saakid magaalada Jigjiga waxay ku waabariisatay banaabaxyo waaweyn iyada oo la arkayay in socodka gaadiidka uu saaka hakad galay. sidoo kale dhaqdhaqaaqyada ganacsiga iyo guud ahaan shaqooyinka kala duwan ayaa maanta hakad ku jira. waxaan ilaahay haatan banaabaxa uu ku socdaa goobo badan oo magaalada ah iyadoo la arkayo muddooyinka waaweyn ee magaalada dad shacab aad u fara badan oo ku sugan. inta badan deegaanka Soomaalida goboladiisa ku toonka gobol banaabaxyada ka socdaan haddii ay noqoto magaalada Jigjiga, magaalada Gudi, Qowlbeyax iyo sidoo kale gobolada Erar iyo Jarar intooda badan. guud ahaan inta badan banaabaxa uu ka jiraa, laakiin banaabaxa ugu weyn hadda kumanaan kun oo dadweyne isugu yimaadaan oo caasimada deegaanka ee magaalada Jigjiga iyadoo la arkay in bulshada qaybada kala duwan ay ku sugan yihiin fagaarayaal waaweyn iyadoo la filayo in soo tiri doonaan garoon kubadda cagta magaalada Jigjiga ugu dambeyn. waxaa la arkaya ilaa 10 ilaa kumanaan dadweyne ah oo wadooyinka kala duwan ee magaalada boorar iyo socod ku maraya iyadoo markaas ku dhawaaqaya eraya ay ku muujinayaan ama markaas kaga xun yihiin xasuuqa loo geystay ku nool galbeed city waxaana maaragtay u muujiyeen dareen ay markaasi ku garabtaagayeen sida sheegay walaalahood.
haddii oo dhinaca kale waxaa warbixin naga siidaa xaaladda guud ee gobolka city ee galbeedka Ethiopia si gaar ah magaalada Garbaciise oo warar soo baxay ay sheegayaan in ciidamada dowlad deegaanka Soomaalida Ethiopia iyo maleeshiyada Soomaaliya ay gacanta ku dhigeen.
soo marsantahay maalmihii shalay iyo maanta dagaal khardar ayaa ka socday aagga hadda sheegtay Garbaciise iyadoo magaalada lagu dagaalamayay gudaheeda ay maaragtay hadda la sheegay warar dhacaya inay qayb ka mid ah gacanta ku dhigeen ciidamada deegaanka Soomaaliya weli dagaalka dhinaca galbeed ayaa la sheegaya inuu ka socdo iyadoo isku dayeen maleeshiyadka anfarta inay gurmad helaan isla markaana isku dayeen inay markale magaalada qabsadaan balse weli dagaalka ayaa wuxuu ka socdaa aagga galbeed ee magaalada Garbaciise ayuu saddexda jeer kale deegaanka deegaanka shacabkiisa maaragtay halkaas ay gacanta ku hayaan ciidanka Soomaalida ayaa hadda waxay la wareegeen goobo kale oo ku tirsan aaggaas.
You might be wondering, how does Grammarly work? The answer lies in complex, cutting-edge algorithms developed over years.
balse weli dhinaca galbeed ayaa lagu dagaalamayaa.
gaadiidleyda magaalada Dhuusamareeb ayaa maanta waxa ay dhigeen dibadbax ay muddo ku hakiyeen isku socodka magaaladaasi. Farxaan Axmed Cabdi ayaa warkaan inoo soo diray.
gudaha magaalada Dhuusamareeb ee caasimadda maamulka Galmudug ayaa waxaa maanta dibadbax hoggaan ka dhigay wadayaasha gaadiidleyda kala duwan ee ka howlgala magaalada Dhuusamareeb ee caasimadda maamulka Galmudug. wadayaasha baabuurtan ayaa xirtay isku socodka magaalada waxaana hagad galay saacado isku socodka magaalada Dhuusamareeb. gaadiidleydan ayaa cabasho ka ah taarka cusub oo maamulka Galmudug dhawaan amray in lagu xiro gawaarida kala duwan ee ka howlgala deegaanada Galmudug. banaanbax la mid ah kan maanta ka dhacay magaalada Dhuusamareeb ee caasimadda maamulka Galmudug ayaa waxa uu horey uga dhaceen magaalooyinka Cadaado, Gurceel, Gaalkacyo iyo magaalooyin kale oo dhammaantood looga soo horjeedo taarkadan cusub oo maamulka Galmudug doonayo in lagu xiro gawaarida ka howlgala deegaanadooda. wadayaasha maanta banaanbaxa dhigay ayaa sheegay in Galmudug ay ku soo dalacday lacago aysan awoodin taarkada maamulka Puntland horey ay uga baxsheen lacago fara badan. Farxaan Axmed Cabdi, KNN, Dhuusamareeb.
markana Kismaayo qaar ka mid ah musharaxiinta u tartamaya kuraasta aqalka sare ee baarlamaanka Soomaaliya ee deegaanada Jubbaland ayaa maanta la diiwaan geliyay iyadoona dhinaca kale xubnaha guddiga xalinta khilaafaadka doorashooyinka qaranka ay maanta magaaladaasi Kismaayo gaareen. waxaa soo warramay Cabdimajiid Cabbaas Aadan.
musharaxiinta u tartamaya baarlamaanka aqalka sare ayaa maanta la guddoonsiiyey shahaadooyinka u tartamidda xilka aqalka sare waxaana sidoo kale ay bixiyeen khidmadda lacagta doorashada aqalka sare taasi oo dhan lacag dhan 20,000 oo dollarka Mareykanka ahi. musharaxiinta maanta isdiiwaan geliyey oo tiradoodu gaaraysa 9 xubnood ayaa guddiga doorashooyinka Jubbaland waxa ay guddoonsiiyeen shahaadada caddaynaysa musharaxnimadooda. Cabdullaahi Sheekh Ismaaciil Fartaag iyo Iftiin Xasan Baasto oo labadoodu ka mid ahaa golaha aqalka sare ee waqtigoodu idlaaday ayaa mar kale u tartamaya xilka aqalka sare waxaana sidoo kale jira xubno iyaguna sidoo kale u tartamaya baarlamaanka aqalka sare waxaana doorashada lagu wada inay dhacdo maalinimada berrita ahi. xubnaha 9 xubnood ee maanta qaatay shahaadada iyo waliba diiwaangelinta lacagta bixiyay ayaa waxa laga
As things have changed over the past year, having a business profile with Google has been really important.
Claim your free business.
doonaya kaliya in ay ka soo baxaan 4 xubnood. magaalada Kismaayo ee xarunta ku meel gaarka ee dowlad goboleedka Jubbaland xilligan waxaa si weyn looga dareemayaa qabanqaabada doorashada aqalka sare waxaana sidoo kale jirta in ammaanka guud ee magaalada si weyn loo adkeeyay. guddiga doorashooyinka ee dowlad goboleedka Jubbaland oo aan xiriiro kala duwan la sameynay waxa ay noo xaqiijiyeen in dhammaan 9 xubnood ee ay shalay shaaciyeen ay qaateen warqadda caddaynaysa musharaxnimadooda sidoo kalena ay bixiyeen lacagta khidmada. dhinaca kale guddiga xalinta doorashooyinka ee heer federaal oo hogaaminayo guddoomiyaha Maxamed Nuur Abyan ayaa maanta soo gaaray magaalada Kismaayo waxaana haatan ay kulamo kala duwan la leeyihiin guddiga doorashooyinka ee dowlad goboleedka Jubbaland iyaga oo sidoo kalena korjoogto ka noqon doona doorashada maalinka berrito lagu wado inay Kismaayo
man like yeah but doby yeah but
Assalamu alaikum.
talk to me man. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh akhi.
How you doing? You alright?
I'm alright, GG. What's popping?
Nothing much, man. This is sad story, man. Up to man. Somalia, understand danka koonfureed oo Ethiopia waxa ka dhacay is unbelievable, man. The last 3 days now.
Mhm.
Well, laba koox baa istumeysa and the people Soomaalidii dadkii meesha degnaa oo dhanna in between bay ku dhex jiraan. Allahu yaclam waxa ku dhacaya, man. As far as we know, we're not even getting correct figures.
This is what I'm saying. This is what's puzzling me right now, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know whether it's to do with, the recent Tigrayan war that they had over there, where they cut off internet. They cut, over there, the internet's cut off, outside information is cut off. I want to find out the numbers.
That's the shocking part.
Because brother, 1 minute I'm hearing 300, next minute I'm hearing 400. I'm hearing this happened last night. I'm hearing there's a mudaharad now. There's this going on, that going on, this guy. For me, it's baffling. And we need to find out.
Baffling. It's sad. Because normally when a country does that to lock down the information and everything, well, it means there's a horrible place to be. Something bad is happening,
Obviously, we know
it's not something good.
Obviously, we know Ethiopia is a totalitarian state. We already know that it's clamping down. It's clear. It's clear as mud in it. But at the same time, for me, where is the movement? Like, this is unheard of. Like 300 to 400 modern and I don't know.
Yeah, well, he was too busy getting the gun embargo away from us. Understand? Guns given off Sahaya. We don't know what's gonna happen, man. Ethiopia, you have to be careful now. Somebody can buy it.
Let me see, what video was it in the group? Someone put in, I don't know, someone put in the group. Let me bring that up furthermore. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the gun embargo.
I think the boy Dap's put it somewhere. I'm trying to find where Dap have put this. Yeah.
He was too busy getting the gun embargo going, man.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Do you that's another story. It's another story, but why isn't this being worldwide reported amongst the Somali community as well? This is the type of questions I gotta ask. How comes where
that's their life, man? It's not. You're not a hero no more. If you're the first one for the first time for the story, you're not a hero no more anyway. So everyone is scared now.
What does that mean? Sorry if you don't mind me asking.
Everyone is afraid, man. Like online things, internet do you think ambulance police will ogolani? So if a newspaper man goes down there, dadkii warbixinta bixin jiray, Allah gacantooda ku tagan Soomaa. Gacantooda isku soo saarayaan. So it's hard work. It's not easy job, bro. Especially when you're Somalian and you're obviously gonna take bad news back to your home, talking about Somalis locally in Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful when you do things like that, especially with this there's no government now in Ethiopia, man. It's all gone. Chaos.
Okay. I've got the video up.
Yeah.
Let's play it.
waa Soomaaliya oo laga qaadayo xayiraadda hubka ee saaran goormee laga qaadayaa Soomaaliya oo helaysa markan hub casri ah haddii aad ogeyd in Soomaaliya ay saaran tahay xayiraadda dhanka hubka ah taasi waa laga gudbay iminka oo Soomaaliya waxa ay markan helaysaa hub fara badan oo dalalka caalamka ay ugu deeqayaan si cadawgeeda dibadda iyo kan gudaha ay ula dagaasho dawladda waaweyn oo ka shaqeeyay xayiraadda hubka laga qaado Soomaaliya qaramada midoobay maxaa ku soo beegay xilligan go'aankan ay qaataan golaha amniga ee qaramada midoobay warbixinteena galwareed maanta Arbaca ayaan ku jeexjeexi doonaa dawladda Soomaaliya oo diyaarisay qorshe farxad geliye guud ahaan shacabka Soomaaliyeed yaa ka dambeeyay go'aankan ay qaramada midoobay qaadatay xayiraadda hubka laga qaadayo Soomaaliya xogta iyo xaqiiqda arintan iyo cabsi la soo dirisay dawladaha dariska iyo kuwa carabta ayaan eegi doonaa hase ahaatee marka hore saaxiibayaal like saara muuqaalkan siina share.
Yeah, but I hear that.
Look, but I don't understand happiness for what? We're gonna buy guns and we're gonna start shooting people now.
No, one thing is, I'm always surprised about it now. I'm always confused about it now that, why didn't Somali warrior they do that? And the way he's reporting them. Like
I
that
know.
annoys
هتلاقي
me.
الشعب في صوماليا happy.
It's not
موجود
even that,
تقف
like waraha, and then the whole voice thing, waraha, Somali. They really need to get. You know what? Sometimes I feel like they need media training. I think to myself, you don't need to speak that fast. Why is he dragging the words anyway? But let's get back to the main list of the story. I think that's posted this in a group, that video. How do we know that video is true? This is the thing. It kind of looks like someone just did a voiceover. Like, we need to see more proof. How do we know? Yeah, go ahead.
If you check a couple of news outlets, they already have that as a headline, bro.
Okay, mashallah.
Yeah, so we don't know when, but the gun embargo is gone. What does that mean to us? It don't mean nothing to me. The country's not going to get any better. We're just going to get bigger guns, and then we're going to start doing bigger wars.
That's what I'm saying.
Bigger wars. Yeah.
Would you trust this nation with guns anyway? Do you think that's the thing?
No, man. I don't know, man, who to trust. But as long as we've got the guns now, I think it's the guns your best friend, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting bigger guns. We're going to wage war on bigger wars. I don't understand. But up to we're dying, man. We don't need guns. We need education, food, shelter. We need life.
That's true.
We're not interested in war.
But then again, imagine there's a country that's been in famine, starving, civil war, rife, but guns loose in here. And then don't you think it's funny how irony, like, all of this is in the talks, and I'm thinking guns?
Yeah, look.
Guns?
You think you have famine, you have hunger, you have disasters, you have like natural disasters that happen to the country, but you think they will come and help with that. But no. Embargo, and let's see what they do with the guns. What's that? That's a silly mentality, bro.
What did this person say? Bigger guns means Al-Shabaab will be finished off quickly.
Yeah, okay. What if the guns go into their hands, though?
Yeah.
What if Al-Shabaab get the guns as well?
That's what I'm saying. Say if they get the cut of the guns as well.
They will. They can't cut off everything in the country now.
That's what I'm saying. One minute the Al-Shabaab, next minute they're Dawlata. So it kind of doesn't make sense. Yeah.
They're going to get bigger bumps, so we're going to end up with bigger wars.
That's what I'm saying. Someone, G said, what do you think about this? Gigi said this in the chat, in it. Man, like Giuseppe said this year. I don't think we have the leaders to use the weapons in a responsible way. Anywho. I think
that's true.
That's another thing we have to throw in the
mix
as well.
That's another fact. We don't have leaders who can distribute those guns for the real need for it or real protection. They're probably gonna sell it, man. Sell it onto other people, bro.
And then it gets into the hands of Al-Kebab.
Al-Kebab, you're blind not for that sinister, man. I don't know how new militia there, but we'll be okay. If we don't get another new militia. Yeah. I didn't let them continue this way. Well, I'm telling you, the revolution is not that far off, bro, because government is in a direction where the nation doesn't want to go.
Man like Slade, I know who this is still. He said, like what happened in Afghanistan, they just give them more weapons, Taliban come, boom, and they're still around.
And they're running the show now. Taliban is running the show. There's no competition with Taliban now. The actual army boys who joined the army when Americans were there now joined the Taliban forces.
So you said as soon as the Americans left, they just switched sides.
Yeah, it's just switch sides. Taliban's become bigger than the government right now. They got the guns. They got the they got all the fucking hammers, man. The bulletproof hammers and everything. They got it.
Yeah.
They got Shinobi fucking helicopters, man. Fucking hell.
Listen, man, they got the Shinobi helicopter. I'm done in the
what Taliban doing? They start living on top of the border now, man, with big guns. They're not living inside the hills anymore. They're living above the hills. That's exactly what's going to happen.
This is what my mother said. He goes, Somalia has the longest coastline in Africa, unprotected without a navy. Without a navy, and also called Air Force, man. You're prey. You're sitting prey, bro, to the world's vultures. I hear you, bro. I've been saying this, bro. Brody, I've been saying this, Brody, man. I've been saying this. So when is enough enough? Even with today's incident, if this is true, the numbers, the mass sheer numbers of the Somali medical dimte, and chalk, peak. There's no peak. There's no where's the outrage? Where's the energy that all the Malis have for the Palestinian cause? That's a question I would like to ask in this type of scenario called the worldwide diaspora. Recently, we saw a massive outrage. I see people gailing off on the top of their lungs, but anywho, I guess Somalis, we don't really give a shit about that kind of being occupied. I guess we just don't give a fuck. You hear me? But some of us that do, we gotta scream like the same energy. This is why I just ask people, look, especially Somalia that high. Where is the energy that you need right now? Where is the outrage? Where is the core? I'm not trying to take away from the Palestinian struggle because everyone's like, oh my god, you have to care about both. You have to care about both. Well, now, where are you guys? Where's the factual numbers? Where are you guys? Where's the campaigns? I don't see this. As a person that creates awareness and creates this,
I have to do bits and pieces. I will come back to the show. I hope to see you in about 40 minutes or so.
Definitely. Yeah, the link's in the chat. Anyone else come through in it? Yeah, but
hello.
Yeah, brother. Nice one. That's the question.
Brother. See you, inshallah.
Inshallah. That's the type of questions I have to ask today. Where's the energy? If this did happen, finding that scarce information about it. So it's kind of, what can I say? For me, it is disturbing. I look at Dotken as what's happened to us now. Really. Like we're letting. Then I challenge everyone. Anyone that comes up in here that's talk shit all the time and this, that. Yeah. Man, like I said it the best. Do you see where's the undercover Arab lovers? Where are they? Hagechogan. Where are you guys? Where's your Arab friends as well? Where are they? Where are they not screaming like this? Where's the uproar? If I want Ummah. Yeah, Slade. No one's taking away diminishing in that, but it's like I'm asking these questions right now. Really. As long as I'm hearing 400, 300, that's all like just getting wiped out. And again, in that makes me think. That's why you said it the best, man. Honestly, no posters for the the polyester gang. See the polyester gang. They keep quiet when it's these things, innit? Yeah. That's what I find strange, my brothers and sisters. I find it strange. I find this disturbing as well. With this case, the lack of information out there, the one who snippets that I got, I'm trying to find. I'm thinking to myself, It is yup, but again, it's just like the fact that I sit here and I speak about numerous times dot can, and the sickening thing is for me, like I always say, it's like when I look back in the mirror and I think to myself, how come Muslims don't really give a shit about themselves? They give it all this talk and rare, but what is it? Man said, who is wiping Somalis? The neighbors in the north or the east? You tell me. You tell me. Yes. Wallahi, be like a traveler. You said it the best. You said it the best. You know, people coming up here, oh my God, how dare you insult these people? How dare you? Sure. The silence is deafening. Someone said, we are victims of successful planning. Laugh out loud. I don't even want to put that board up there. What did he say? Of course, I'm fully with you. I fully support that. Anyone else that comes up here and says, oh my God, well, that could kill it. Okay, today's a perfect example. I'm going to be like, go to your other friends, the whole whatever group that you feel like you belong into, and see if they, they even this is. And I respect if some of the brothers and sisters say, I don't even have a clue what's going on. I have to look at them in the mirror and say, wow, okay, what is going on with June? Yeah, come on, yeah, FA, that's the truth. That's the truth. But Fs, I'm not gonna lie to you. I totally, I feel that, sister. But the thing is, they don't leave us alone. That's the problem. They don't leave us alone. It's like, oh my God, I want to be here. That's what my hardly. Oh, and you want to distract and take away from the, the key fundamental issues what this channel is based upon. You get me? And that's what makes me laugh. Yeah, that's why I fully say this is a Wadani channel, isn't it? Straight up and down. If you don't like that word, yeah, it's a place where dadka Somali speak about Somali issues home and abroad. Bada bing, bada boom. If you didn't get the memo, and this is the reasons why I don't really starting to let's give a fuck about dadka kale walai. You get what I'm coming from? Incidences like this happen. It makes me think, oh my God, like any other nation, they want their citizens like 300 to 200 and Melaba being. I guarantee you would have been all over the action, would have been the news, Mahadai, this, that. But lo and behold, that's Somalia. No one gives a fuck about that's Somalia. And the question is, I don't even think that's Somalia give a fuck about that's Somalia. That's the irony. For me, that is the irony. Yeah, I'm coming from my brothers and sisters. Doesn't that make you sick to the core? I guess so. And I think it's because Europe aren't talking at these fancy places. Mr. Sheikh, you have to go find out and do research yourself, my brother. The information is there for you. We could drop you links. Go type it in, research it yourself, and come with your own conclusion. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, this type of story is kind of all over the gaff. And on top of that, I'm just baffed with the what's it called? Yeah, man. Broski, it is. Yeah. What did he say? Yeah. No. I'm well. Like anyone that really talks to me about what's it called? Anyone that talks to me about this type of crap nowadays, isn't it? Yeah. I'm just gonna look at them and say, okay, that's kind of like, what have you done? You hear me? What have you done? All the polyester dress motherfuckers, isn't it? Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, man, you can't have a leg to stand on with me when it comes to these type of things. I'll just look at you nowadays and be like, really? Yeah. But let's, like the sister said, let's focus less on them. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Sheikh, I hear you, Mr. Sheikh. Yeah. But how can I don't know. But then again, you gotta ask them, because I hear there was a question when we posed this question to a lot of the brothers and sisters. When we posed this question, a lot of them say, how do you know, Khalid, that they want to join? How do you know they might just turn around and say, you know what, we're kind of happy here? And I think that's kind of the irony. Some people say, Somali got bad. Like, if you think about it, is it one tribe? Is it multiple tribes? Thank you, sis. This is when I look at people with big platforms that are literally, do you know what they're doing? I'm watching, people are talking about the CK ex-wife story. The Somali tube. I always, how people say the Somali Twitter or whatever. I call it the Somali tube now. Somali tube. I'm just looking at everyone's mainly concentrating on what's going on between Shina Ale and CK's ex-wife and all of that crap. It's very hard to pull out these things today. I was thinking to myself, what is going on? It's very hard to pull out these things. You get where I'm coming from? So I thought to myself, yeah, for me, it was kind of very hard. And I thought to myself, like, what is going on? Yeah. So now I was just typing something in, just looking something up. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he was the first one to break that out. Because again, even myself, I kind of like I'm not gonna apologize to no one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like why the fuck am I always gonna be apologizing? No, we were just so busy, held up, with the recent incident in Iran where we do our shootings and our video shoots and all of that. So when I did her, and then I thought about it, and all day I've been trying to gather information about this, and all I know so far is, and I don't know whether it's the media over there. Some people like recently when I refreshed my YouTube, it was like 400, 300, 400. I'm thinking to myself, raw, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Wait, I wanted to play something as well. Oh. Yeah, salam. To, I don't know, is that Gabriel Adam? Salam. Where is it? I was looking for something I wanted to play.
kulanti wacan oo wanaagsan idin ahaantiinba akhyaarta hawada nagala socotay meel kaste oo aad joogtaanba ku soo dhawaada barnaamij gaar ah oo aanu ku milicsanayno haddii allaha awoodda lihi ogolaado dhibaato baaxad leh oo indhowaalaba ka soo jirtay gobolka galbeedka city ee deegaanka soomaalida ayaa waxaa haatan uu u muuqdaa mid marba marka ka dambaysa ay xaaladdu ka sii darayso waxaana maalmihii ugu dambeeyey dhibaatooyin baaxad leh ay shacabka Soomaaliyeed ee ku dhaqan galbeedka gobolka city kala kulmayeen qaybaha kala duwan ee ciidamada dawladda federaalka ah ee dalka Ethiopia iyo waliba ciidamada maamulka canfarta ee iyagu indhowaalaba dhibaatooyinka iyo gaboodfallada kala duwan ka hayay ama ka waday deegaanka Soomaalida gaar ahaan galbeedka gobolka city haddaba maalinnimadii maanta ahayd ayaa sida xogta aanu ku helay waxaa markii ugu horreysay ay yimaadeen saraakiil ka tirsan ciidanka militariga dalka Ethiopia yaanan dhihin markii ugu horreysay waxaa gelinkii hore ee maanta saraakiil ka tirsan ciidanka militariga dalka Ethiopia ay shir u qabteen shacabka ku dhaqan magaalada Garbaciise halkaasi ayaa markii saraakiishu ay yimaadeen waxaa dadkii shacabka ahaa ay ku wargeliyeen amaba ay kala dooransiiyeen labo midkood in ay yeelaan labadaa arrimood ee ay yidhaahdeen ha la yeelo midi waa kow in soomaalidu ay ka guurto deegaan magaalada garbaciise iyo nawaaxigeeda iyo guud ahaanba deegaamada galbeed iyo in ay canfarta isu dhiibto oo ay isku dhiibaan canfarta maamulkeeda ayna halkaasi sidaasi ku noqdaan canfar haddaba arrimahaasi oo maalmihii lasoo dhaafayba soo taagnaa dowladda deegaanka soomaaliduna aysan waxba ka qabanin ciidamadii shacabkaasi difaaci lahaana dhinaca iyo loo waariday deegaanka axmaarada khadka teleefonka waxaa si toosa ugu jira saaxiibkay barre daahir buux oo isagu ka soo jeeda deegaanka soomaalida gaar ahaan gobolka city siiba galbeedka gaar ahaan deegaamada hadda xaaladdu ay ka aloosan tahay ee shacabka dhibaatada lagu hayo barre waad maqlaysaa waan filayaa waa tahay waa ku soo dhaweynayaa marka koowaad marka labaad bal waxaad nooga warantaa si guud xaaladda galbeedka gobolka city iyo waxa uu ku sugan yahay deegaankaasi galbeed ee gobolka city
aad iyo aad baad u mahadsantahay jaamac gallad aad baan kaaga mahad celinayaa sidaad haman iyo dharaar ugu heelan tahay arrimahan ummadeenna gaaraan
haddii maqalka haddii uu wanaagsan yahay waxaan codsan lahaa bal hadda saad maqalka saad wax u maqashaan inaad nala soo wadaagtaan haye iwo
aad baan kuugu mahadnaqayaa sidaad haman iyo dharaar ugu heelan tahay arrimaha qadiyadda ummadda soomaaliyeed ee dalka Ethiopia ku nool haddaan intaa ku dhaafo qadiyadda galbeedka gobolka city saddexdii magaalo oo intaasoo sanaan kasoo hadlaynin oo xogogaal u tahay adiga iyo aniga iyo intana dhegaysanaysaba dhammaanteen maalinba bay u dhiibaysaa maalinba heer bay taagan tahay caddayntii waan ogeyn oo maalin duhur cada oo salaad jimca ayaa la gubay sida u dhannayd sidii bay u guban tahay sidii bay dadkiisii qaarkoodna ay duleedkii magaalada u fadhiyaan qaarkoodna ay dacallada adduunka u kala firxeen candhuufo oo meesha aan ka fogeyn iyada qudhadeeda sida maalin kastaba lagu soo sinqaa maalin uu dagaal ka dhicin ma jirto maalin aan la israsaasin ma jirto maalin aan la isku dhicin ma jirto maalin walbana way soo durgayaan oo halkay maanta joogeen berrika joogaan way kasoo durgayaan ta ugu daran ee maanta aan ka seexan laanahay waxa weeyaan waa magaaladii garbaciise sida aad adiguba sheegtayba magaalada garbaciise qadiyadeeda marka aan isdul taagno aan waxaan ku tilmaamaa amba ii shabahdaa magaalo ku ooli jirta dalka Bosnia oo la odhan jiray Srebrenica magacaynkaas lahayd oo 8,000 oo muslimiin lagu gowracay qadiyadii magaaladaas ay ku sugnayd iyo xaaladaha ay soo martay ayay maantana ku sugan tahay garbaciise magaalada dalka Bosnia sidoo kale waxa ilaalin jiray ciidamada guufiyad madow ah oo ka socda qaramada midoobay waxaanan dhinac kastaba kaga soo yani ka go'doomiyay ciidamadii xagjiriinta dowladda Serbia.
As things have changed over the past year, having a business profile.
Yo, G.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, my brother.
I don't know what's going on with my internet today. I think I went back in time because it looks like I was using dial-up internet. Nothing was letting me connect.
No, yeah. That's perfect now.
Yeah, I have to find another guy. I have to fight him, man. So wait, let me get, I caught the last bit of the video you just put up now. Was the brother saying that the place where something historic happened there before, like 8,000 Muslims died there or something, got slaughtered there?
Yeah, time ago.
Or they get a mistake. Is it from the same area where it happened today?
I think so. I think that's where the brother's on. The video was a bit too long. It was about 20 minutes. So I said, you know what? That's it.
It's historic war, bro. They might actually have something out for the Somalis. Literally. And you know what shows me as well? I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy that we're starting talking about this. What highlighted this?
Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Alaikum assalam, my broski.
But I don't think the highlight was another video that you put up of an Ethiopian man in Speaker's Corner. Talking about we're going to take the water, we're going to take the land, blah, 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 blah. I believe this is something that's installed in them. I don't believe that the ones that in the West portray it, but I believe the ones back home have this like inside of them where they want to take Somalia. I want to destroy Somalia, you get it? And Somali people in the countries.
Now in their head, they don't see. I don't think they see Somalis, and I think they see us as part underneath them.
Underneath,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it
Ethiopians
is. Yeah, I just don't get it, bro. But for me, what hurts me the most as a person that creates awareness and stuff like that, GG, is where's the outrage? How come all of your own citizens, of a nation's citizens, and there's no peak, there's no outrage, there's no choke? Well, let's
Yeah,
calm
it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You know what Somali
that's
people
for
have
me
forgotten?
disturbs me. That's
Yeah.
personally what disturbs me.
You know what Somali people have forgotten? There's one thing which is called solidarity. You get it? Then on the flip side is neglecting the problems that's going on at your house, at your home. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk up for my neighbor 5 rows down about incident happening in his house when my house is on fire. You get it?
But why do we do that? Why do we do
I
that?
don't
Why
know,
have
man.
we?
I
don't know why.
Self-hating.
I
The
don't get it
self-hate that
with our
Somali
people.
portray.
Yeah, FA says it's time to wake up and stop this tribalism. I agree with you.
Yeah, facts.
I agree with you for the greater good, because this is disturbing. 300 of our citizens I'm here 1 minute, 400, 1 minute, 300. The numbers are verifying. Just
Yeah,
got
we're going
slaughtered.
through the whole day, can you remember, fam? And the numbers have
Yeah.
been changing because there's no. I don't know if there's a media silence from the Ethiopia's part. I'm not sure. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
But there is no coverage. And
What's
300
this
people.
Anfar I'm hearing?
Yeah, the Anfar
I
is
keep hearing this Anfar. What is it? Is it Anfar and Amhara fighting amongst each other and the Somalis are caught up in the middle? Is it Somali Balalania?
One of the things I've heard was so far, I don't know if it's true. Like I said, there's been minimal media coverage from this. You get it? What I've heard so far, and don't quote me on this, is a Anfar and the Tigray link up. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
In layman's terms, you get it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Somalis, and they have been, and we see on the map now, Tigrays have been slowly advancing. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
And taking more and more areas. I think it was part collateral damage and part despite what happened to Somalis in that region. Yeah.
CD saying Isa and Anfar are fighting.
Yeah, but they've always had problems, the Isas and the Anfars.
Yeah, but Isa, what that's Somali. I don't care. For me, I'm just looking at this 300 Somali. I just don't think it's one tribe. I think it's a mixture of that. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. It's a mixture of that Somali or Ethiopia again. It's not all Gadin, Beitilian. It's not this type of people. It's majority of Somali. حاجات again بقول لك السنة.
Yeah.
ما في إساق تعرض هوية بلا يرسل
It's a Somali problem, bro.
It's a Somali problem. I don't care what no one says about this issue. It's a wholeheartedly Somali problem. Tilk, what do you think?
The brothers, like honestly, when it comes to tribes, right, I have no knowledge of it. Like I
Alhamdulillah. Say Alhamdulillah.
Hello?
Oh, like, please enlighten me.
You can't. You want to repeat that again?
Sorry, I know. I was just saying, like, when it comes to tribes, I have no knowledge of what you guys are talking about. So.
It's no tribes. Basically, what we found out the information. What we found out is I don't know yet because the information is very scarce. Yeah, they're saying 300 Somalis just got killed in the Somali region. I don't think it's to do with tribes. Civilians.
Yeah. Is this within Somalia or?
No, it's Somali region in the Somali region of Ethiopia, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
No. There's non-combatants that was massacred, didn't it? People that was not a part of no conflict, you get it? Or Somalia,
and was this caused by Ethiopian people or what was it?
Yes. It was caused by the Afars, yeah.
Okay.
In Somali territories.
In Somali territory, to Somali solely.
But then isn't there like I keep hearing how Ethiopia always want to take our land.
They're talking it. England's already given them the land already, and it was given to them already. They've taken it. Not only that, they've also accepted, this is the thing, they might have taken on, but they've also accepted that as a Somali region. Because I think it's in the southeast or the southwest of Ethiopia. There's another ethnic group that's like closer to, I think, in phenotype to the Kenyans, and even in tradition, I think. They are not called, they're just called the southwest region. All the other regions are slightly more respect to have a name, you get it? Somali region be amongst one of them, but they still have our land, and they have Somali land that was given to them by the Brits.
But thinking about it, okay, so when we're talking about people being oppressed, right? Why don't we talk about the Muslims in the camps in China?
Yeah, 100%. That's another thing we should speak about. But the reason why we're not bringing it up because like we're solely trying to keep the Somali issues. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And that is something to be spoken about. Wallahi,
That is
may Allah help
something.
the weaker brothers.
I mean, but I can't. It's again. It's the whole analogy that G just said earlier. My house is burning, bro, and I got one bucket of water. Tilk. Am I gonna run to my neighbor, or are you gonna put out your house?
My house first.
Yeah,
Of course.
that's what it is.
It's
not
just common
Humatin,
sense.
There's no Humatin. We are not in any position to help anyone else.
That's what I'm saying.
We have people in Somalia. Forget all the war and the people that we have people that's in Somalia that are refugees, that are Somali, that are displaced, living in tents. We can't think of no one else.
Yeah, but also, brother, it's like at the end of the day, it's like we barely have the means to look after each other.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
So how can we look after other people?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're 100% right. We can't. We cannot think of anyone else. It doesn't mean, wallahi, look, brothers on the panel and brothers and people, brothers and sisters in the comments. I am not saying to show solidarity. I'm not saying to stop showing solidarity. No problem. But that we have to address the elephant in the room, and that's the problems that's going on in Somalia. That's happening to Somali people. You get it? That's right. No one else is going to speak about it for us. Not a single person on this planet. Yeah. That's right. No one else cares about it.
This incident right now, if it's true, look, yeah, and these numbers, that just proves my theory that I've been saying for a long time. Where the fuck is the outrage? What is going on?
Even like countries like Pakistan and whatnot, that a lot of people speak up for, them themselves can't physically do much. All they could do is speak up for other people. They can't do much. You get it? They're talking about their problems. Somalis should not, I don't know where the guilt comes from. Somalis should not feel guilty for caring and thinking about Somali issues. But we can't expect no one else to. No one else to do for us.
That's what baffles me. Even the other day when the young sister came on, I don't even think she was 27 or something. You know, when that young sister came on, it's like, I'm like, yo, we deal with Somali issues first on this channel. But a show next, isn't it? And there is a reason why.
I know that if we
Samarun, salam alaikum, broski. My family in the building, salam alaikum wa rahmatullah. He's another brother from Somali Kalbed as well, innit? Yeah. Some man nigga Samaru Hoidis is from around there, innit? So he knows that.
Knowing that we're not in a position to help no one, and not only that, historically Somalia has been a nation that's very willing to help other nations as well. But that's when we were in a position to help. Now that we are not, we should keep our mouth shut and get to that position again. You get it?
Thank you. I always say that. Like, for me, it's not an issue of we're not sure. Like G said, we show solidarity, especially this channel. We are here protesting, doing our thing, speaking about Muslims getting slaughtered all over North America, Canada. But when an incident like this happens, for me,
we must roar, we must scream from the pits of our stomach.
Yeah, bro.
Because no one else will. Right. No one else will. Just the fact that no one else will. Is the fact that we should. This is our problem. Is inherent to us. Understand? No one else is gonna care about this.
But brother, the thing about it, for you to help out people that are in Ethiopia, you have to have a good, strong government, bruv.
Yeah, of course.
The thing about it,
you're right.
You two hold up the panel for me, yeah.
No, but the reason why we're willing to speak about the Ethiopian issue is the fact that it's solely based on Somali people. If it was right now, if I'll give you an example right now, if there were Somali people, let's say in sorry for swearing, in Bradford, that were being oppressed and brutalized, I would want Somali people to speak up for them Somali people in Bradford. You get it? Because it's a Somali issue, inherited to Somali people.
True.
And you're right. Our nation, our government, I can speak of my own, like what I've seen and what I feel like. Our government is not a government. Do you get it? It's one that we need to fix. Especially in the South. It's a joke. It's a laughing. The whole world's laughing at us.
Well, honestly, the brother is bribery and corruption.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. The whole thing is money and Halin Aloshisa. When each president or each figure sees the kursi, the seat, he's thinking about how he can help him and his kin. He's not thinking about the wider Somali issue. You understand? He don't care about it. And that's what leaves room for countries like Kenya and Ethiopia to abuse whatever they want to abuse. Because what Somali is going to defend the Somali people in the nations? What Somali people is going what country, what government of Somalia has the award or the strength to speak up for them? None. So they get away with murder, literally. You understand? So we have to rectify ourselves. And the first thing we have to do is hold ourselves accountable. We can't keep on putting the finger outwards or blame. We need to start putting it towards us. We are our
Yeah,
worst
but
enemy.
also, brother, you're saying government, bro. I don't call the Somalian government actual government right now,
It's
but they're
not.
just
I
the
agree with you.
people. They're just people that are looking after their own belly.
I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's a joke. Each leader of a state thinks he's a president. Farmacho can't leave Hamad. He can't leave Mogadishu. He's basically a mayor. You understand? It's a joke.
Yeah.
You understand? Warunta, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. But accountability has to be made. Someone has to bear the brunt of this problem. You understand? And the people that want to jump on the kursi have to know you will be held accountable, and every qalad you do, you will be addressed about it. You get it? Right now, all of our leaders get away with what the fuck they want. Sorry for swearing once again. I apologize. I keep on forgetting I'm on a podcast. But I'm on a live stream. But our leaders think they can get away with anything they want. Funding their money, doing dodgy deals, being hasty to one another. Understand? Holding back money that's not even theirs. Yeah.
But thinking about it, the brother, like, what they're saying, they give us a lot of aid, right? A lot of aid to look after our country, yeah. But where is actually that aid?
Aid is another ploy to keep a nation
Under suppressed.
Yeah, make sure it doesn't develop. There's a book. I advise everyone on the live stream to look it up. It's called Aid and Other Dirty Business, and it shows how the West and other and particularly the West use foreign aid to keep the thumb on nations, to keep nations under their foot. You get it?
Under suppressed, yeah.
Of course it is. It don't help. Even if you look at the most basic line of aid, it goes back to the teacher manifest or giver manifest. Yeah. Am I the only one in the show? Does this actually? Am I looking at? Does it actually say you're in the show and everyone can see you? Assalamu alaikum, people. SS has been kidnapped. Yes, kid, you're back.
Yo, what happened to talk?
No, I mean, you know, my internet's bugging out, but I just cut out on him, and I think when I come back on, he was gone, innit?
Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, man. That's what it is. We're not going to have strong government until people... You know what it is, yeah?
Yeah.
Right now, our leaders believe that they don't believe that the people have the power. They believe they own the power. They have the right to the power.
Yeah.
The moment they
Yeah.
have that power shift and they realize the people will hold you accountable. The
Yeah.
people will make you step down. They'll be more scared to do the fuck what they're doing. Sorry for sorry, but yeah.
Big up my family in the building.
Yo, Carl, well done.
Talk to me. Alaikum
Hey,
assalam.
me too. And what happened today?
Basically, I think it happened the last 2 days ago. There's a slaughter, like nearly. The numbers are crazy. The one minute is 300, 400. You get I'm coming from, mobs.
Yeah.
And then for me, I'm just seeing like 400. If the numbers are right, things are right. I'm hearing 400 to 300 Somalis getting slaughtered somewhere. Like, come on.
Where in Somalia?
No, in the Ethiopia region.
Oh, man, that's sad, man.
Civilians, bro. That's the worst thing, bro. Dumarkena, ilmahena, you get.
And
It's
all mixed. You know,
non-combatant.
Somali Galbet as well.
Yeah,
This is what
What, is it the president? Is it the president's army doing it?
No. The Afars.
It's crazy.
The Anfar.
Then they got issue. I swear they had a war going on in Ethiopia recently.
Yeah, that was on the other side.
Yeah.
Apparently, 2 tribes linked up. They're trying to wipe out more. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I'm hearing like civilians are getting caught up, smoked. It's crazy. And I'm thinking, where's the outrage? What's going on? Like, what's going on? Mother Somali? Like, 300 or 400 rough estimate of people just dropped.
Because
when no one's saying nothing.
Because when Somali atrocities happen, Somali people jump up and straight away say, "Oh, that's not my people."
It's tribalism. Or the worst thing is tribalism. But they don't even understand. Yeah.
Bro, that's disgusting, bro.
I know.
That's crazy, man.
You were saying, you were saying something about governance. Big up Ahmed T in the build.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa
Ahmed.
Salam.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier because he said that right. He don't think our government is good. Yeah, and I told you 100% right. First, we don't have a government. We've got like 4 guys that think they're presidents, and we have a president that is a mayor. Can't you believe Mogadishu? Yeah, we don't have a government. It's shattered into a billion pieces. You get until that is rectified. Oh, it's no hard work for Somalia, man.
Ahmed T, what do you think about this? Have you heard anything?
I saw some people protesting. The first I saw of it was earlier today, where I saw some people protesting in the Jigjiga city, the capital of the Somali region of Ethiopia. I haven't had much time to really look it up because I've been in work. But the thing is this: I overheard you guys saying Magarasa. This is happening because there's no strong Somali leaders. But then to put it on the flip side, I think there's a guy in this picture who doesn't get a lot of stick amongst the Somalis in the Horn and in the diaspora, but he gets a lot of credit. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with the guy if he didn't get credit, but he gets credit, but he doesn't get stick. So something must be wrong. Now, this guy goes by the name of Ismail Umar Gele.
Yeah,
okay.
Facts.
His
IOG.
name
IOG.
Is Ismail Umar Gele. He is the president of Djibouti.
Okay.
He's been ruling it for at least over 20 years. And he's literally been involved before he got to become the president. When his uncle was the president, he was pretty much the son of the president because he was being prepared for that role because he ran all the other intelligence agencies and everything else. So the guy's been here for the last 30 years. And he happens to be from the Isa clan, which lives in Somaliland, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. And he happens to rule over Isa and Afar. And he has done nothing to put good relationship between the Isa and Afar. Afar, by the way, which are the most closely related to ethnic group to us, in my opinion, even more closely than the Oromo. who are also Muslims, magarata, who I don't consider to be bad people, politics aside, he has done injustices against them. And right now, with simmering tensions in Ethiopia, you would think that guy would take a leadership role to diffuse the tensions which keep coming back between the Isa and the Afar in the Somali region. Because what you have to remember is, Somali waxay leedahay two shitty neighbors. It's not the Beja, it's not the Saho, it's not all the others. It's the Oromo and it's the Afar. Magarata. The Oromo, which are quite large population, Magarata, which number around 40 million plus. And then you have the Afar, which are few in population, but they live in Eritrea, Djibouti, and Magarata, Ethiopia. And the Isa happens to be their neighbors. Somali or Galbet, whether they are Sag or Ogaden or whatever, or Hawiye or other Darots, or so on and so forth. They're not the neighbors with the Afar Magarat. So whatever tension is there is always between the Isa and Afar. They're a couple in a sense. People don't even speak about them as two different ethnic groups when Somalis speak usually. We kind of speak about them as Magarata, two clans or Derisa, Isa Afar, Magarata. Marka, doing anything about this, they can't even do anything about Somalis being killed in their own territory in the South Magarata by the Kenyan airstrikes, which Khari talks about quite often. Magarata.
True.
So you can't really ask them to talk about something else, Magarata. And so, but to get to other point quickly about the Isa and Afar, in my humble opinion, what's going on is this: the Tigray, which are a minority in Ethiopia, which have been ruling it for 30 years, which I consider to be Magarata, the Black Jews, Magarata, are basically very intelligent people.
The Black Israelites, the Jews.
Yes. Not as an insult, but they technically are in terms of my opinion, Magarata. I think they are related. But anyway, back to the point. Yeah. No, not Semitic. I believe Magarata. Some of them might be related. But back to the point. Those guys are very intelligent. Now, you should never underestimate your enemies. They're very intelligent. They're very connected. They've got a lot of friends. They're amazing at propaganda. They're the most well-trained ethnic group in the Horn in terms of fighters, and they're great fighters, by the way. And they come from a harsh climate. Now, these guys are using the Afar to destabilize. The greater plan is for them to destabilize other federal states within Ethiopia in order to cause chaos and to take the attention away, which is solely based on the Tigray region right now, and to create more conflicts simultaneously going on with Ethiopia, to basically take away any credibility from the government in Addis Ababa under Abiy Ahmed's command, Magarata. People are saying, Magarata, tribal people are fighting. I'm sorry, tribal people don't kill 300 people at once. These guys are undercover Tigray, which are fighting amongst the Afar, which are very well trained, or dadka sumaynayo, or dadka assassinate garaynayo. They're very well trained, and they're fighting amongst the Afar because it's difficult to tell people apart, Magarata, when they're fighting. And they're basically causing huge casualties on the Somali side. But I also believe they're also causing casualties on the Afar side to instigate the violence between these two communities, which live shoulder to shoulder and shall live shoulder to shoulder for the end of time. They're neighbors in Ethiopia, they're neighbors in Somali Galbed and so on. And so the Tigray are really masterminding something here, and anybody who doesn't see it as a clown, do not underestimate them. Come back in, guys.
G, do you want to go for it? Ibrahim, do you want to come through?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
nabad yacaano insha Allah.
Nabad iyo nolol.
Waxayna niyo de way I think waxay socotay marka xoogaa maaha markii ugu horeysay maaha marka I think waxa weeyaan kolley cilad waxay ka bilaabatay waxa weeyaan I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago ayaa waxa dhacay ciisaha waxa laga qaaday lagama qaadin laakiin waxa bixiyay the president of the Somali region 3 towns that belong to basically the Isa tribe oo siiyay Afarta. So that's basically where
the tension kicked off.
Where the bone of
the flared up.
Marka you know somehow siyasad baa ka socota sort of internal politics between the Somalis there. And Abdi Ile just decided to give 3 towns that belong to, you know, that the Isa to the Afaris. And then obviously markuu meesha ka tagay Afartan waxay markaas ayaguna sidaan kasoo maybe de soo ceshada dhulkiini marka waxa ka socota markaas siyaasad kala soo gashay meesha oo kan internal intaan la gaadhin ba Tigriha waxa weeyaan dhulka Soomaalidu ay degto waa dhul yani meelo badan buu Ethiopia meelo badan buu ka saalmeeyaa waxa weeyaan maxaa la yiraahdaa you know that road that road there's a real track that goes all the way to Djibouti you know the railway marka railwaygaas wuxuu maraa meelaha ay Soomaalidu ay degan tahay especially maxaa la yiraahdaa saddexdan magaalada la bixiyay marka waxa weeyaan meesha waxa ka socota waxaan Soomaalidu يعني حبشلو especially amxaaradu Soomaalida ma aaminsana inay yihiin true Ethiopians ma garatay aamin marka Soomaalidu waxay iyagu waxay Soomaalidu waxay u maran yihiin dad aan Ethiopian ahayn oo xabashida aamini karaan marka waxa weeyaan that key maaragtay infrastructure ay doonayaan inay Soomaalida ka fogeeyaan ma garatay they don't trust them. And this is key to the survival of landlocked Ethiopia. Because it's an avenue, isn't it? What the artery of trade for Ethiopia. Because if that artery is you know the area, the kind of the area surrounding the artery is inhabited by the Somalis, then it's like, oh, this is accident waiting to happen. We can't. This is very risky. Somalia meesha kuma aamini karayno. Marka ninkan markuu soo galay uu yiri waxaan muxuu ahaayay abxaarta iyo waxana laga dhigayaa you know somehow they're going to be in the forefront of this new Ethiopia. Obviously iyagu waxa ka fikir well we want to create a link between key roads and rail tracks between you know Somaliland muxuu ahaayay Djibouti and strengthen the existing trade line. Marka they're thinking Somalia saanu aaminayna Somalia kuma aamini karno meesha sharciga marka waxay sameeyaan in dawladii Ethiopia yaa cashay nimankan hub siinaysa oo dabada ka wada ma afartu ma awoodi karayaan inay Soomaalida iska celiyaan oo dagaal aynkaas ku qaadaan nimanka dad badan bay gumaadka iyo muxuu ahaa maxaa la yiraahdaa iyo dadkan la xasuuqayo dad bay iska xasuuqayeen for the last 2 years. It's not the first time.
Say the word gumad in English so people who are listening can understand.
Gumad is like a massacre or genocide.
Man, I say gumad is
gumad massacre when you do somebody dirty.
No, I say when you pillage.
Yes, it's pillage, but when you do it dirty, because pillaging is doing dirty, and that comes back to my point. There's a reason I want to put an emphasis on this word gumad. The people who are good at doing gumad are soldiers, trained soldiers, or who know how to hit people where it hurts, and they can dispose of many people at once. Untrained tribal fighters cannot do it. And I'm trying to tell you, there is very well trained Tigray soldiers within this group. Come back in, guys.
dhinac way kala socdaan runta kulli possibility laakiin waxa weeyaan muxuu ahaayay iyagu meesha way ku leeyihiin weli inkastoo waxaan maqlay imaka I think maxaa la yiraahdaa rank and file soldiers way ku jiraan laakiin the movers and shakers waa laga saaray I think they've been expunged from the military Ethiopian military lama aamini karo marka qaar way baxsadeen qaanadu waa ku meesha ka dagaalamaya marka the rank and file soldier de wax badan isagu waxba ma garatay marka waxa weeye nimankan kuwii new police kana iska leeyihiin kuwan cafaartu iyo mislkooda military ku jira Ethiopia ya ayaa waxaan hoosta ka sameeyo ma garanaysaa
walaalo wala iga soo dhaxgal qof baa ii yeeray ma garat laakiin what I'm trying to tell you is I think the point about the trade route ma garat to Djibouti that also implicates Ismail Omar Gela ma garata because he's basically selling his people in Ethiopia out in order to make money within Djibouti because where does this trade route this railway and all these trucks and all these roads head to? They come from Addis Ababa and the Ethiopian mainland and they head to Djibouti. And if he's happy with the Isa who live amongst this route to be disposed of, like rubbish, then he takes a big blame. And the point I keep making about the Tigray fighters is very important.
Isn't that just called collateral damage, you know, there? Because at the end of the day, Ismail Umar, he's all about dollar bill, yeah. We all know this. IOG. It's all about dollar bill, so it doesn't matter.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I want people to understand that. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that why is he like that. I'm saying that that's how he is. People have to know this.
People have established that, so what can the people of Djibouti and the Isa do then? Because I feel like they're on some other oppression. If this is mainly Isa, look at Isa Lalenia.
The people of Djibouti can't do anything. They can't even choose their own leader, so they can't do anything. And they're not even making money from all these trade routes which are leading to their country, which the government should be taxing all these Ethiopian imports, all the billions of products and items which are arriving. They're not taxing the military bases. People in Djibouti should be very comfortable and rich. They're a small population who live on a coast. They should be very rich. So they should, at least they should be very comfortable. Their country should be stable. They should have good access to electricity and water and gas. It's a very hot country. All the houses should be air conditioned and so on and so forth. Infrastructure should be good because countries are using their infrastructure. Technically, they don't even have to build it. They can use the countries to build their infrastructure for. Djibouti should be Djibouti should be a success story, but it's a failure.
Because of one family, the mafia family.
Yes, and also I must say, the Afars, just a second, guys. How is your car in there? All right. I've been informed that.
laakiin isagu dee miyuu isagoo hoosta ka taageero mooyaane miyuu si cad miyuu soo dhexgeli karo
maaha Ibrahim oo ninkani imka walaalkan Axmed wuxuu yidhi de 30 sannadood burcad iyo tuugnimo wad ninka oo cadade because there's a Darsool. If you seen that video on Darsool where it just exposes the rare cordon from head to top. Adeerkiisa digiisa madaxa xagan walaalkiisba xagan haysta inankiisa waxaan haysta inankiisa warshadan haysta inankiisa diyaaradda haysta adeerkiisa dawladda is like a royal mafia
ma uu haysta
wareer kaliya meeshan ka cunteynaya
ay
gabadhan leeyahay khadraxayd
way jirtaa meesha de wuxuu ku haystaa adigu dadka madaxu kaga fadhiyay badan uu kaga fadhiyay
wareer kaliya for a population like that mumkin dadkooda la leynaya shun ciisaha in isla yaabaan dad ciisa oo I don't know if it's a movement because recently there was a pilot there as well. I remember a couple of months, about 6-8 months ago, I reported on him. He was going nuts, but so are we saying that can imka saddex number or this number or that kind of like Maisa or that can Djibouti degan ba oo aan farta haysa it must be geographically I don't ignore
dadka la dilay waxa kulay waa dad ciisa weeyaan ciisaan degan Ethiopia degan marka adigu isaga waxa oran karaa horta isaga hawriisa meeshan Djibouti wixii ka jira way ka jiraan laakiin hawsha marka laga hadlayo waxa weeyaan isagu hoosta isagoo ka taageero mooyaane amba la hadla nimankan meesha jooga nimankan adigu amba Abi Ahmed amba kan meesha haysta maxalka Soomaaliga meesha haysta Akchar
Mustafa maxay Akchar
isagoo si maaragtay maxaa la yiraahdo hawsha wax ka qabta I think isagoo saas mooyaane si kale si toos uma soo gali karaan manaya isagu dhinaca marka I think hoosta waxa ka maqlay hoosta uu ka caawiya oo hubiyo waxbu meel ka soo geliya hubkiyo waxaas laakiin markii hore waxa la yidhi markii horeba I think the new guy can Mustafa Akcher somehow he's not tackling the issue head on because markii hore waxay yidhahdeen okay even markiina laga qaatay markii magaalooyinka la wareejiyey ninkii hore meesha joogay waxa weeyaan meesha wuxuu keenay yani meesha ammaan baa yaallo hadday istiraadaan afaarta soo dagaal nagu soo qaada ciidamada Soomaalida ayaa waxay naga qaban jireen iyagoo markiiba diyaar ahaa laakiin iminka wax ku dhacay la garay waxa kale markii ninkan la wareegay yani ciidankii Soomaalida ayaa somehow hawsha si fiican wax uga qaban maayaan which is a serious problem because they provided internal security of the region magaratay marka they were supposed to protect the people marka if they can't they waxa weeyaan waa inay si kala hawsha u xaliyaan arms una u yeedhaan inay dadka I don't know like they primarily they're there to protect the region and the people marka iyagu they actually failed in that regard completely failed kalena waxa weeyaan Soomaalidana meesha dadkeena ku xeeran Djibouti oo qurama Soomaalida ku xeeran waxa degan Soomaalida kala deganayd waxa jira Soomaalidan kale Somaliland kuwan kale Soomaalida ku wada xeeran Kenya xitaa dhinaca marka waxaan oo kale is an outrage in waxaan oo kale maaragtay inuu ahaado inuu ahaado top news headline news inuu ahaato oo dee maaragtay oo meel kasta ay noqoto war ka noqoto
walaalo inaad Ibrahim I think we established laba mushkilood ay jireen bariga kana Ethiopia dagaalkii la kiciyay meesha internetkii wixii oo dhan bendo bay dadkii saareen taana xisaabtana ku darnaadeer habadaadan xisaabtana ku darno qofta ilan tiraqoobka meesha ka baxayna it's kind of crazy I don't know because one minute waxaan arkay 400 mar waxaan arkay 300 imisa what is going on illa like because internet blackout no one's really aware but I feel and everyone knows feeling inside that balalay warku waa dadku way Soomaalidu isku xiran yihiin across the border all the time mushkilad waa la isku weyn waxa weyn dadku marka warku iska cad yahay waxa weyn tiradu inayna buuxin laga yaabo tiradu inayna mar laga yaabo inay dad kala de markay inay kolbo dad bay helayaan meel lagu tuuray meel marka dadku waa la ururinaya waan marinaya laakiin inta la tiriyay ilaa 300 bay gaadhaysaa ku leeyihiin laakiin taas mid buuxda wali maaha Allah inay sii kordho laga yaaba noqoto 350 4 laakiin waxaan weey ka jiraan oo dadka waxaan lagu sameynayo maaragtay dadka la dabar gooniyo la dilayo de waa iska taas waa iska cadda in badan way socotay xogo way socotay marka kulli de waxa dadkii kale marka dadkii Soomaalida ahaa noloshoodii bay qiimeeyeen wala jacaylkoodii iyo naxariistii iyo jacaylkii iyo qiimeyntii baa ayaan ugu yar qiimeynta magartay yaa nolosha you hit in a nail wala qiimeyntii nafta that's why I keep saying nafta Somaliga when I say Somali is matter qiimeyn ku fadhina madareen baan hay dad bala dareen baan noqonay because hali agana so obviously the last 2 days we were covering a story that happened recently and when I found out about this all day I've been trying to research as much as I can to find out more صدق هي أفر فيديو بان كليه كهلي. And then obviously of Instagram, big up what's his name? ولكن Marley Ward on Instagram. He's the first one to actually put it out there as well. It's very hard to find this information. Yo, Ridley, are you there, my brother? Big up the man James in the build. Yo. I don't know, man. Mic check, Rids. Yo. Nah.
It's gone over here.
I think he's having mic difficulties. Yeah, man. But that's the مشاكل دي. I said that Ibrahim والله إن بدم يا ما عندنا أنا وحنا قايلين. I mean, I'm snantani. إم قاين تيجي لا خاصة. I hate to make comparisons, but ما تدخله. أنا أيام dadka kale markuu wax qo'aan dadkeena ooyaya oo soo xansameynaya arkaysa iyo marka la hadashid So don't ever compare to dadka waxa ku dhacaysa. I'm like, oh, dadka meel dulan lahayn baa laga haystaa.
Yeah.
And then volatility, does that negate to what's going on? Is it the same power and level to you, or you don't, or nafta Somali the maqimisi? This is the question. This is why I'm starting to love team.
taasi waa niyo mushkiladayna waxa dadkii I think dadka Soomaalida dadkii dilkii baa ku batay Soomaali marka I think waxay noqdeen maybe just
numb,
desensitized. Yeah,
that's the exact word. Desensitized xun baa ku dhacday. It's like
I think waxaas dad dilkan iyo waxaas ay nagu batay marka asaas in iyo waa iska wallahi waa yandaro inay
yeah, but then again, yandaro is meeshan agrasa meelahan kale 70 sano dagaal ka socotay lu ooyo la imleynayo adduunka la isla dhacayo oo banaanbax loo tagayo anina intana so how's that go like come on slay up
no you're right
2021 when I said slay up, this is what I'm trying to tell my people, slay up, that's the only word I got وصانت كلا slay up
man حريصتي you know we need to be more loving to each other well you're right man you know we need to show love and concern to each other well ma is we don't matter when ما بدنا when we are taas mar manaya
Soomaalida marka dib iyo dhawaatada umad Soomaaliyeed bulshada Soomaaliyeed ku maqashid wayna dareenku kacdo straight away
especially markay waxaan oo kala dhar waxaan oo kala wax laga yaabo weeyaan
intaan la yaabanahay I keep saying this, I'm gonna keep alliterating to this kalimadan aamus naanta is fucking scary right now. Well, that's scary. It's
cidi kama hadlayso waa dadka waa sad wallahi it's sad iyagu xitaa way yaaban yihiin waxay kula dadkii Soomaalida maxaa ku dhacay kuwii meesha la joogay imika ninkan meesha haysto kale waxaas kale isagu inuu ka hadlo inuu dadka maaragtay inuu TV-yada soo istaago inuu wararka dadka u sheego inuu waxa isagu qudhiisu iska aamusay yani waxa ninkan meesha maxaa la yiraahdaa maybe ma maqal laakiin actually I don't think he's very vocal about this, man. It's waxaan wax dhan badan socday ahayd. Marka I'm not sure if he's pushing the central government.
What do you think of Mohammed
or he's speaking truth to power? I don't know, man. I don't know what the guy's doing. You're right. Marka waxaan mar dhacaan mar laba soo noqdan maaha. If you really care about the situation, or if he's in control of the situation. Sana ilaa ma sana ka hor socotay as I was saying marka hadii marka if he was really in control of the situation he would have put a lid on it a long time ago like it looks like this thing is going to soconaya wallahi because
I'm just thinking BBC's not covering it like the brother Khalid Dapper said. I think Dapper said it the best. No mainstream is covering this. No mainstream Al Jazeera's not covering this. No one's covering this. So then again, could it be a rumor in the pipeline? This is what kind of scares me as well. This is what scares me.
I think a lot of us waxa in meelo badan baa laga hadlay.
Anu Ibrahim waxaan ku leeyahay anu tirkoobkan ka yaabanahay kolba boodis mar 4 mar 5 3 anu tirkoobkan ka yaabanahay ilaa the numbers ain't even certified.
Dadka hadii wali la tirinayo la diidayo dadka hadii meelaha lagu kala dilay oo barna la helay hadana bar la diidayo marba bar la helayo waa taas waa dhici kartaa waa numbers can go up mushkilad ma taas dadka qaar meelo lagu leeyay oo la soo helo laga yaabaa in dadka you know qaar la aasay oo ma garanaysid wallahi waa marka taas inay waxaan inay socdaan waxaan waa macruuf waa waadix muddo it's well documented, isn't it?
waan ogeey qalbeedka in badan shay in badan dadka lagu haystay
marka saali nimanka waliba nimankan waxa weeyaan nimanka dirta waxa dhul badan oo leeyihiin baa laga qaaday imaka magaaladan imaka dir fad maqashay dir dhabe niman la dhaag gurguraas kala oo iyaguna isa istigaan oo dira nimankaas iska lahaa imaka waxa soo gashay markii dhulka la wareejiyay waxa soo gashay oromadu waa ku soo durugtay marka imaka oromadu waxay noqdeen marka gurguri waxa iska wada noqdeen oromos they've been oromized total marka gurguri marka in yarba Soomaali caadi ka badankoodu waxa iska galay khalaas waa dhulkoodii
waa hor la qaata
marka imaka dhul badan iska lahayd gurguri iska leeyahay iyo dad badan oo dira qabiilo yar badan oo dira nimankaasaa kusoo fadhiya markii waddanka meesha la qabsaday. And historically was part of the obviously Awdal bay kamid ahayd the Awdal Empire. Meelahaasan even Herar iyo muxuu ahaye Dirdhaw. Marka Dirdhaw dhulkoodii buu ahaa nimankan qabiilkan Soomaalida nimankan gurgura la yidhaahdo waddanka iska lahaa. Gurguriyo adiga 70% waxay iska noqdeen xabashi waxay dhex galeen was they been subsumed by kuwan nimanka Oromaha weliba. Marka waa Oromo caadi iska noqday waa nin Soomaaliyeed iska Oromo iska noqday. I think maybe 25% waa weli ka harsanba. Marka waxa weeyaan nimankan dhowr badan baa laga qaaday actually xaqdarro badan baa lagu sameeyey waana masaakiin weeyaan ma dagaalamaan.
But you see what you say gurguraha iyo ummadan iyo they've been Ethiopian fights nimka la qabsaday.
waa macruuf
dadkina ka baqaneen Soomaalidana sidaa loo galo.
marka dirir dhabadeed waxa waa dirir dhaba means real war. Ama dad qaar waxay dhahdaan waa dir dhaba waa dirku dir waa magaca qabiilka weeyaan.
oo dirkana ma la oran kareen dadka waxa dirta.
Dir is the name of the tribe, isn't it? And then marka amba dir dhaba ay noqonaysaa meaning real war where real war was fought oo dir dhaba dirir dhaba marka waxay noqonaysaa sort of meel laga taagay meeshii waranka laga taagay or something like that. amba muxuu ahaye the land of dir saas kale noqonaysaa marka Soomaali lagu turjumo. marka dhulkan waxa iska lahaa nimankaas gurgurahaasa iska lahaa iyaguna badankoodii waxa kusoo fiday
awliga gurgura ma maqal.
waa massive tribe man waa massive waa niman isagaan xiisaha waa dira waa very very big. marka dhulkaasay degaan xaggaasay degaan dir dhabe Herar all that area xaggan city gobolka city waa meelahan imika dadkan insaan kale la haystaa degaan xaggaasay wada degaan. marka badankoodii dadka ma oga badankoodii waxay iska noqdeen organized. Soomaaliya ka lumay marka dad badan oo Soomaali iyo qabiilo yar fara badan baa jira iyaguna iska lumay aynkaasa dadka markii la gumeystay la soo galay khalaas dhulkoodii Manalig markuu ninka meesha soo tagay soo galay Manalig markuu meesha la wareegay waddanka markii la wareejiyay dadase waxba they Ethiopia the whole place magacyadii bay ka bedeleen waxay marka marka dhulka iyagaaba iska lahaa waa dhul dira basically dhulkaas traditionally.
But don't you scared of the expansion that these guys are just going to expand?
That's the thing waa laga sii marka waxa weeyaan
Soomaalida iska saayimada ala waxa bashi chara dan charku wuxuu noqonayaa 10 20 30 that's I don't know madana mala badan aqliga laga haysto wallahi.
So the thing is iyaguna ma midaysna imaka for example inay like siyaasadoodan waa bit immature siyaasadda ka ciyaaraan meesha ka ciyaarayaan meesha that region was a bit immature. imaka tafraaruqan waxa weeyaan dad badan oo Soomaaliya meesha degan haddana waxay ka dhigeen ogaadeen bay ku sheegayaan waa la dhaba waa divide and conquer that's the politics of the enemy. dadkii kala marka dadka markay kala go'an yihiin waxa weeyaan kolba one by one baa lagu qaadanaya isna divide and conquer marka ciisi dirta waxoodu waa lala wareegaya ogaadeenkana si gooni waxooda ayr baa lala wareegaya kuwii kale waxa dadkii ma wada dadkii ma midaysna dadkii they're not united, you know what I mean? Divided we fall, yeah? That classic adage, isn't it?
Yeah. United we stand,
United we stand. So waxaa ku dhacay dadkii way they're not politically united. Imika xitaa markii I think marka la yidhi markay dooranayeen the capital I think rather than Chiga inay ka dhigaan dir dhabo oo kale magacaankaas oo kale amba Herar oo kale yaro meel yaro day magarat like way fogeeyeen waxay dhigeen not too big here. So marka politics kuna the region doesn't have the politics is quite it's not very mature, unfortunately. Not very mature, and they're not united either.
Who's Somalida?
They're not united.
Yeah, but that's our biggest mushkila. That is our biggest mushkila.
Yeah. So that's that's why they get exactly. That's why they all get kind of. Yeah, they've been divided and conquered, isn't it? Yeah, tribe by tribe. That's what can just the old divide and conquer tactic from Nomadic.
It works very
from the colonial master.
It was. It's been embedded in the system, fabrica. Instead of, and this is the problem. This is why Somali Galbet really needs to look at itself and say, you know what? What is it, man? Occupation can I will again Allah kuchiri dona or mother Somalia. Because I really want this place in a Kalaburburto in it.
But I mean, Burburka, maybe it's not. I mean, we don't, we don't want at least, we're not off it, and I think, it's not in the interest of anybody for Ethiopia to violently disintegrate. I think that's not the. I don't think that's the right way. Well, because the whole region is gonna suffer, man. When we saw the whole place violently crumbles. They want Marquran and isn't it? There's medical,
I don't think so. I don't.
Well, it's not good. Well, once that massive space becomes ungoverned and disintegrates,
I don't really want Melo in yeah. I'm just saying Melo قبي خذ هو kala go'an. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean orderly, the orderly
Zero Gurman I think
operation. I think orderly separation. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they zero Gurman I'm jiggy with that, bro. I don't really give a shit.
I mean, if it's done peacefully, if they succeed peacefully, referendum or something.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now this is a problem in around them regions.
Horta big up my Isa walalahay Gesiga and gangster squad. The whole reason why Dirda is still Somalia, the mayor is Isa, is because of Isa. Now let's go back, Khalid. Brother said something about Gurgura. You don't know about these guys, yeah? Gurgura,
I don't know about these guys.
Akisho. These guys, they're like Isa, yeah? They're like Isa basically. They're like same, no difference. They got similar Ugas, whatever. But these guys, waxaqati Oromo. They made them into Oromo Adi. On top of that, they even joined the Oromo clan system.
Dad badan oo Soomaali ah kan right wallahi dad badan
laakiin Isa they're such a gassy waxay iska celin cafarta waxay iska celin Oromada xabashida to today Somali kaso imika yimid Dirdaba he will be respected because Isa ka baqdan because Isa they might not be large they're fighters magaca Soomaalida cirka u qaado way
that's a good point wallahi they would have been Ethiopia a long time ago you're right
they are even worse because the regions they live in, not only do they have Oromos, they also have Afar on one side. So they kind of cornered by even worse than these guys. Like they still stand strong. So
you're right. They're still holding it down. You're right. Yeah, that's a good point, man.
So who majority lives there? Huh? Is it? What about your people? Samaronka? Are you gonna Samaronka?
Samaronka, one joke now. We're there, but we're not many of us. Like it was mostly even Dirdawa, the name was called Dirdawa na Isa na Gurgura Auraja because they used to consider the Isa and the Gurgura not Somali. They used to that Gone Ujeden. So they were like these people that they thought they were like their own ethnic groups in it.
Yeah.
So they named Dirdawa like the provinces of the Isas and the Gurguras, meaning these people they're like their own ethnic group, same as the Afar region. But then obviously Isa, they I don't know what happened. Eventually, they was Muslimin and they're Somalis. So but even then, they did not allow them to join the Somali region. Look at that Hasinimada.
Yeah. Man,
they did not allow them to join. They don't want.
divide and conquer. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Especially they're strong because massive. Somehow. If they were united, that would have been a formidable
There's no unity. Look what they tried to do, in Dirdaba, for example. They took all the Akisho, Gurgura, Charso, these clans, and even Isa, they tried to like bring him into the Oromos, meaning that you're not Somali. Because they tried to say from the beginning, Somali you guys are own, we're gonna give you your own district, you guys are gonna be your own representatives, blah blah blah. So that's why Dirdaba is not in the Somali region, because they after 77 war, I've been Dirdaba. The guy, he said to me after the war, every nin Somalia or Duki Sahista. Habashi one side and another one Oromo. So that's how they kind of closed into Imika, like there's churches there and everything. My granddad said there was no churches, nothing. Empty.
It wasn't. It was nothing.
empty.
Yeah, it's empty. Look at them. It's just history is there, but they wanna rewrite history in it and basically subsume. And basically, yes, Ethiopia is or Oroma is Somalis there. That's basically what.
Yeah. I mean, funny thing is, the house. I've been to the old house of the Ugas. You know the Ugas of Isa, Mustafa something.
Yeah.
And you know the whole area, the Amhara, Habashi. Not even Oromos, Habashi, but Guriyasho got Hok.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Run Meriptin, Mr. Ben.
Run. الضمير is still Somali, you know.
أنا أحمد وين لحظة هذا قارب وحوي مير سكولتي هان شغين جرا وهدو لا كورون يعني هما فيسكا إسكالا إنجليزي مركب عن كوارك قحوتي ميران أو هدو لا كورون يعني حيو بدين حبشة إريتريا مقرطة قاري توبيان أو قاعدة من مركب كوارك وان شاكي سنة نمن بابو هي كليهين أنا كصومالي وأنا هاي وحكي إما دير دابا ما قرأتها ورما عادية واد أركيس
والله
والله هذا لما كويني هو صومالي بتي ذا أما تسكدي بيساباني كله وتسكدي بيساي مني شيء كرتيدو عاوي وركينو يقف كذا دي بيساي ورما هو ما تانكوي صومالي ناتهم بكو أقول هاي ها هو يده ورما بحواي لكن أنا عباه بحواي صومالي عباه بحواي marka yaraabu dhinta hooyada bay soo korisay marka Soomaaliga ma fiicno anigu marka waxaan u qaatay ninkan ama Soomaaliga wuxuu ku soo bartay meelaha Hargeysa iyo Boosaaso iyo ama dibnaba lafteeda laakiin wax Soomaali oo ku jira malaha laakiin and he was not the first I saw many Oromo here in the UK who claim to be from Dirnaba Magarata and I was very surprised because the demographics how we big shift in the last couple of years, and it shouldn't be surprising to you guys because the Oromos, Somali somehow are nomadic, and if there's thousands of them in Somalia, Magarata, and in Hargeisa and in Bosasa and so on, why would you be so surprised that they would go to Dirnaba Magarata? The way that the Ethiopians are thinking right now is that they want to take other areas using the Afars Magarata. Because the Afars are quite meaningless in Ethiopia, to be quite frank.
They're useless.
They're not politically. They don't have a great deal of representation. Their land is very dry and very hot. Magarata.
والله أحمدو, you know, despite all this, والله أنا كصومالي وضعت strong man. Look, all these traitor clans like Gurgura. Cool, bro, when the 2018 ما كان دقال كان داعي between Somali iyo Oromada. يجوا Oromo راعين. Did you know that? These are traitors. So Gurgura, Akish, these are 3 traitor clans. Somali ما بشكتان با. But yet when it comes to Somali politics in Ethiopia, they want to be involved. These are what you call وأعوذ بالله وردتكم Well, even me, I think Oromo, but Somali we check.
Nah, man, come on.
Oromo, same as Gurgura. How can you side with the Oromo, man? How can you side with the Oromos, bro?
No, but I think Ibrahim was saying that earlier. Better of them have been Habashifized or some type of shit.
Oromized, yeah.
Well, that's why I respected the ISIS, man. They don't fuck about, man.
They don't yeah, you're right. They're holding it down. Yeah,
you know, they've been fighting for hundreds of years against the Afartan and the Oromos.
And they
still there.
They're still there. Well, they're holding it now. That's you're right. Otherwise, they would have been overrun a long time ago.
So you saying Isa Ethiopia تكلم الركيدي بكون جيبوتي
ما Djibouti was small numbers there. Isa واحد يكون بدين in Ethiopia, majority of them. I think all of them come from Ethiopia. Except Djibouti. Ethiopia is where the majority live anyway. Djibouti is a small fucking shitty nation, man. Even the president there, he was born in Dirda, but did you know that?
Yes.
He's also from there. Most of them are from there.
You were telling me recently about that.
Yeah, he's from there. He speaks Afghan, he's everything. This guy is a traitor, man. You know, majority of the aces they come from them sides anyway. But Wallahi, me, I respect them. Wallahi, I wish more Somalis could see. In a way, the leaders, yes. Not the shop.
منافقين baa ka buuxa qabiil walba oo weyn waxaa weeye munaafiq buu leeyahay kuwaasaana usually leaders ka noqon kuwaasaa lasoo pick garayaa waxaa weeye
taas maaha you know waxaa la yidhi dadka ninka waddankiisa ugu naco the most becomes the president. Yeah.
Salaad soo tukanaya, just gonna give me 5 minutes. Be back inshallah.
Oh, well, Khalid, I heard of this, bro. Wallahi, Khalid's a gangster, man. He's always bringing the exclusives, man. 300 plus. Funny thing is, it's been going on for a while, man. This year, last year.
No, we were distracted. The last 2 days, we were distracted with this mad topic, innit? Yeah. Or Nathan Wallen, we did it like a tag, eh? But it was just flirting, it was just flirting around in my head. And then yesterday, you know, some of the, the polyester gang, obviously. Said that, but all of the bad them say, what's wrong with them? I'm like, bro, I covered this all the week. Don't worry, I was this topic is going to be a stream by itself. That's what I was thinking in my head. Don't add it to another stream. Just make this this topic a humble. But Mohammed, I know what the lack of information.
Imagine. I heard of it.
I'm thinking to myself, where's the numbers? I'm looking at things. This number, that number. So I'm trying to be precise.
The thing is, Khalid, no, you're on point. But think of it. These Ortho, they fight a lot, but the difference now is the weapons. The weapons they're getting from the TPLF. Because Afar, they always, they've been getting fucked up by ISIS with no weapons. So even with their weapons now, they got some high-tech weapons. This is the concerning part. They've got a military now. These used to be nomads, left, right, and center. So they never had no rights. Look, all these places, they even have Afar name. Yet now, they're coming with armies and tanks and attacking local people, basically. So
yeah, that can KFC.
What TPLF? It's got to be TPLF because the neighboring nations, the neighboring regions, that Tigrayan, Afar Wadjar, so it's got TPLF now. What they want to do is they want to take over Ethiopia again. The way they're going on now, they've taken back their lands from the whole Ethiopia. They even went into the Amhara region. They took some extra land back, and then now they're doing the same with the Afar region. So they're expanding. Eventually, they're going to take over the government. The government backed off. Adi. After 7 months.
To be honest with you, it's propaganda. It's propaganda. I've been following it.
What's propaganda?
I've been following the Ethiopian situation. Nimankan Tigray aad bay propaganda ugu dheerayaan.
They're winning now. So they got the land back.
They're not winning. When you compare where they were 8 months ago with where they are today, they're not winning. They've lost many of their leaders. They were infiltrated into their land, which hasn't happened before Magarata. And they've lost a lot of Magarata. What do you call it? Higher ups, and they've lost a lot of weapons. But the thing
they got the land back.
This is
to me. That's
no, but they didn't get the land back. What happened was Abiy had no choice but to withdraw from the land he captured because he was being sanctioned left, right, and center. And not this ally Gray, Egypt, Sudan, and some of the Middle Eastern countries are funneling weapons to the Tigray because they're neighbors with the Sudan border, Magarata. Weapons,
but this is debatable. You know why? I've seen a video of the old leaders of the TPLF. They parading through the capital, Mekelle, with the hundreds and thousands of Ethiopian, not a couple thousand, hundreds of thousands, a couple of thousands of Ethiopian prisoners of war, parading them on the streets.
Apparently, that's an old video.
Really?
Yes.
But they got the capital back, though.
Yes, because I told you, Abiy Ahmed has no choice but to withdraw from the Tigray region because the amount of sanctions that were placed on him. He even had to go to the extent that he had to make a fake election where he re-elected himself. In order to cement his authority, Magarata. But I don't believe he was elected again. Maybe he is kind of popular, but maybe he would have got around 50%. But the numbers that he's claiming he got, he's clearly fabricated in Magarata. But he's been forced to do many things. Well, when I say he, Abiy Ahmed is basically an Amhara puppet, and so the Amhara have been forced to withdraw from the Tigray region, but they have really put a big wound in the into the Tigray. But this is the thing, what I was saying before.
The Tigray are very intelligent, they're very advanced in propaganda, and they have many friends, which they have made over the last 30 years.
30 years,
and so one of the things that they will do is they will target the poor Isa and the poor Somalis who live amongst the Afar, to make it seem as if tribal wars are happening. They will funnel some of the weapons they have, and they will funnel some fighters to even go there. And so this is what's happening in Ethiopia at the moment. And the more conflicts that spark up in different areas, the more likely it is that Abiy Ahmed will not even have to be disposed of the Tigray. The Amhara will dispose of him. It will make a deal with the Tigray or so on and so forth. Because that's how it works. Nobody waits until they lose.
So you think the Tigray are going to lose? It doesn't. From the look.
No, I didn't say the Tigray are going to lose. I'm saying the only way that the Tigray can win is to get the Amhara to break a deal with them. The Habasha
I think you know what's going to happen. You know,
that's the only way.
They hate each other, the Amhara and Tigray. No, but I can see Tigray becoming their own country from the way it looks now. There's no way they can, all the stuff that happened. I can't see them joining the federal government like that.
Yes, but you're being delusional, because when you say all that's happened, anything can happen. How much is enough for the West to allow for Ethiopia to break up into more than one state? How much has to happen, Magarata? That's the question I'm asking you. What do you think is? What do you think is the limit before the West allows for Ethiopia to break up?
I found a little video. Do you want to watch this? So let's watch it for 3-4 minutes. I think I found it late. Something got sent to me.
You can't hear it, bro.
Can you guys hear it?
We couldn't hear it a second ago. Let's see if we can hear it now.
Okay.
We still can't hear it, bro. Oh, I can hear a little bit now. Hold on. We can hear a little bit now. What is there?
All right.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I can't hear nothing now.
Okay. Give me a second. I know what to do. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Just bear with me. My bad. Sorry, guys. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. I'm back. Aku mau kalian ya. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me?
Aku mau ya. Aku mau kalian. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Aku mau
kalian. Yeah.
Saya nama kalian.
He's got problems with his mic. Didn't from so on his side.
Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me?
You can.
Yeah.
Oh, you go. Bro, I couldn't hear nothing. Let me try it again for you guys now.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay, Rabah, and then come in.
Nah. What about now? Let me know if you guys can hear now.
We can hear you.
Can you hear this?
No, not very well.
Huh? You can't hear the video?
No. So Ali.
Nah, let me try something, man. Something's going booky with it. Carry on, guys. Yeah, you guys carry on the conversation while I figure it out. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
I know. Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, he's talking about the video. He's talking about the video.
Can you hear the video?
No, we can't.
No, we can't hear the video. No.
All right, carry on. Now you guys carry on while I work it out.
Okay.
So gonna read you. So do.
Really, James.
He's
muted, so I don't know.
So do.
هنا جردة. ما أنت عم بدني say no.
حقيقة كان واحد كان حبشة. There's no way I can't see them striking a deal with them hard, man. Too much has happened between them two. What think you them?
You have to remember.
It's the similar. It's okay. I don't want to be funny. It's similar to Somali or done skutik the Isaki and not Isaka saying Somali and Bison.
Like that, yeah.
I would say. Like that, on top of that, yeah, they got.
Can you guys hear anything? Can you guys hear anything?
No.
You can't hear nothing.
جردو. أدام كلك في تمانية أنا. يساق لكن ودك صدر سرميسن حكومين هو. أيوة minority أو 4% 5% ما كرتا. لما كان 30 years بودك حكومين. It's like you can't have your cake.
They have resources. That's the difference. Yeah.
True. You're right.
But no, but it's like you can't have your cake and eat it. You were ruling these people for 30 years, and you don't want to be governed for 1 or 2 years by an Oromo guy. What the hell is this? The West won't accept that. That's ridiculous.
The Tigrayan, you know, what Yehud idea.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. We don't know.
But the way it looks like, I don't know. I can't see them like Nagi like madness has happened in that country, in the region. I mean, the whole country. I know. But they have a claim to say, look, we want to be independent now because too much bloodshed has happened. Too much. I think there was even propaganda. I'm not too sure if it's true. They were saying that the Tigrayans, the IDs are being, they have like an ethnic ID card, right? The Amharas to minimize the numbers. Hey, listen to this guy, Khalid.
Can you guys hear him?
We can't hear him, no.
You can't hear him?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, man. Something is going on. All right, guys, one second.
Yeah, who are we talking about again? Ahmed.
Maya, I don't know what the master plan is, Magarata.
I just can't.
I know that these nations go according to plans which have been laid out 100 years ago, 200 years ago, Magarata. It doesn't usually work spontaneously for countries like Ethiopia, Magarata. And so it's not as simple as saying that Tigray women have been raped by Oromos and Amhara and so on.
Can you see Tigray running the country again, becoming government?
No way.
No way.
Because how come in, Ridley. You haven't spoke. Come in.
Come in, Ridley.
I just wanted to say though, like, I don't know, man. The way how the news makes it look, it's like at first November, I thought Tigray was gonna get wiped up, but part of me is also like they're not like any other group in the Horn of Africa. Like they're a small population and they're like a clan. Like if you look at the Somali sense, they're just like one clan. So they're not gonna get bodied or like they're fighting together. Like the civilians are part of this war. That's why they're not.
They're united. They're united. That's
no.
Very united.
The thing is, you're fighting 7 million people. You're not fighting an army. You're fighting 7 million people. That's different. That's what people forget. You know what I'm okay? Let
Yeah, we can hear it now.
madaxweyne waxaan kaa codsanaynaa horta inaad gobolka city sideedaba hoos u eegta ayaa kaa codsanaynaa waxaan nahay dad magaalada jijiga ku nool oo gobolka city ka soo jeeda markasta waan oyna hoos baan u oyna waxaan ka xunnahay hooyooyin uurlaa la qala ubad yar yar baa la dilay waxa weeyaan madaxweyne hoos noo eeg madaxweyne ciidankaaga garab istaag ciidanka waan garab taaganahay gobolka jooga waxa weeye inaad hoos noo eegtaan doonaynaa inaad waxalada hooyooyinka la qala noo aragtaan doonaynaa ubadka la qala inaad noo aragtaan doonaynaa annaga maanta waxaan nalaynayo waa ciidan ma aha maxaan ku idhaaye shacib waa federaal waxaana looga qabto dadka ha loo gurmado dadka maxaan ku idhaaye ha la daafaco
mudaharaad ballaaran oo aanan loo kala harin ayay isugu soo baxeen shacabka ku dhaqan magaalada jigjiga kaasoo ay kaga dhiidhinayaan dhibaataynta aadka u badan ee xafarta u geysatay shacabka ku dhaqan galbeedka gobolka city ee deegaanka soomaalida halkaasoo lagu xasuuqay maanta aad u tiro badan mudaharaadayaasha ayaa qaar ka mid ah warbaahinta la hadlay iyagoo aad u caraysnaa waxa ayna sheegeen
waxa weeyaan xasuuqani markasta uu soo noqdaa markasta uu soo laalaamaa waxa weeyaan hooyooyin uur la dooxay ubad yar oo laba jir iyo hal jir ayaa la qalay waxa weeyaan foolxumo aan tan ahayn oon adkaysan karnaa ma jirto waxaan hiil iyo hooba la gara taagana madaxweynaha sharaftan waxaan ka codsanaynaa inuu horta shacabkiisa hoos u eego weeyaan sheeko inay ku noqoto maaha waxa weeyaan markasta anagu ciil iyo caloosha noogu noqotaa ooyintu waxaan la garab taaganahay walaalaha iyaga lagu qalqalayo ee sida xadgudubka loola dhaqmayo waan ka xunnahay madaxweyne waxaan kaa codsanaynaa horta inaad gobolka city sideedaba hoos u eegta ayaa kaa codsanaynaa waxaan nahay dad magaalada jijiga ku nool oo gobolka city ka soo jeeda markasta waan oyna hoos baan u oynaa waxaan ka xunnahay hooyooyin uurlaa la qala ubad yar yar baa la dilay waxa weeyaan madaxweyne hoos noo eeg madaxweyne ciidankaaga garab istaag ciidanka waan garab taaganahay gobolka jooga waxa weeye inaad hoos noo eegtaan doonaynaa inaad waxalada hooyooyinka la qala noo aragtaan doonaynaa ubadka la qala inaad noo aragtaan doonaynaa madaxweyne xaqayaga noo soo dhici madaxweyne canfari weligeed baan dagaalami jirnay maanta tiim maaha weligayaan canfari iyo ciise dagaalami jireen maanta iyadii maaha xoogay dadka saaraysaa xoogga siday noo saartay inaan saarnaan rabnaa madaxweyne soomaali waa soomaali maanta magaca soomaaliyeed baa jijiga la iskugu soo dareeray madaxweyne sidaan u soo daraneen qadiyadda isku saara adiguna inaad isku saartaan rabnaa madaxweyne shacabkaaga hoos u eeg oo gobolka city siiba hoos u eeg oo miidasha yaalla garo kuwa dhaawacana dhakhtarka yaalla ka wardoon madaxweyne taasi caloosheedu ku qaboobaysa haddan magaaladoodii iyagoo oo la bililaqaysanayo ayay saa u eegayaan ubadkii oo la qalayo ayay saa u eegayaan carruurihii maatadii maanta waxaan leenahay oon mustafa leenahay oon madaxweynaha leenahay annaga maanta waxaan nalaynayo waa ciidan ma aha maxaan ku idhaaye shacib waa federaal waxaana looga qabto dadka ha loo gurmado dadka maxaan ku idhaaye ha la daafaco halkaa ha laga sii
Yeah, guys, could you hear that? You guys could hear that?
Yeah, we heard it perfectly.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, fine. I was thinking, what's going on?
This is the protest I was telling you about, Khalid.
Yeah, I found it on Facebook. I love Facebook, man.
Uh-huh.
I love Facebook. Facebook gives you that juice, that sauce. What do you guys think about this, you guys? I'm going to come back here. You guys hold up the panel. Let me know what your thoughts on that little statement that the woman's saying. And
well, it's sad, man. It's sad, man. It's been going on for centuries, man. But now, like she said, now there's weapons involved, like big boy weapons. So this is the difference now.
Yeah, but not even that though. You have to understand too. I found this out recently. Wallahi, like they set us up for this. They're trying to turn Somalis to Palestine. They gave us an arms embargo. They don't want to give us arms. They don't want to give us nothing. You know, some people are close to controlling our code. Like, you know, Somalis have to learn how to control their own economy. So this is becoming very bad, like, because a lot of us are becoming docile in the West. You know, we're becoming a diaspora people rather than the people from a nation, you know. The situation going back to Ethiopia is weird because, you know, Afar and Somalis live in the same region. You know, this is like the Tigrayans are very calculated. They had 27 years head start. So this is why the war is looking decent for them. They took a big chunk. They're not fighting a war against a country. They're fighting a war against a regime or ethnic or a specific ethnic group. You know, you don't see Oromos going to the front lines. You don't see Somali. Even if they do, they're not at the large amount. They're not sending hundreds of thousands. They're taking a couple, whoever is under the Abiy regime, you know. This is why this war is going like this. At the rate that it's going, the best bet for Somalis is, this is the best time. This is why some of us like it's the best time to take control of the Somali region right now. The army's not there like that. You're fighting against who? Afad is it? We outnumber them 3-1. But it's all about army. It's all about what you do. You know what I mean? You can't, that's what I mean. You can't put yourself to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? Somalis have to get back into an army type, like a militia type state. Like, people have to be armed and dangerous, like not against themselves, but against foreigners. Like, it's getting to that point. Because Somaliland already knows that. Somaliland has a strong army now. You know what I mean? They're doing whatever, but they still follow under the arms embargo. We have no air force. That's a big part of our weakness. They're not allowing us to get an air force. It's part of the UN's embargo. That's some Palestine type shit, But let someone else speak.
Ahmed, do you want to comment?
Maya, Ridley, I think the problem is you're thinking out of emotions, Magarat, with regards to, and I don't blame you, Magarat. The people who are protesting are thinking and speaking out of emotions. So it's normal, Magarat, to react. But you can't talk about solutions until you understand what exactly the problem is. And I feel like the Somalis haven't even identified what's going on yet, Magarata. Maybe there isn't one thing going on. Maybe there's multiple things happening at once, Magarata. The Tigray issue, maybe the Afars are taking advantage of it. Maybe the Amhara are playing a game on both sides. But the thing is, they have to have an idea what's going on. And if you go into this blindly and you just go all out and you think that, okay, let me dismantle the Afar, you won't win anyway, because once they realize you're pushing them back, peacekeeping troops will be sent in, because the Somalis are never allowed to expand onto anybody's land. In case none of us have noticed, Magarata, we're seen as troublesome people, Magarata. Western countries just won't allow that. But I think we have to understand what the issue is. And to me, some of the issue is that the Tigrays want there to be a tension, an everlasting tension between the Afars and the Isa, or the Afars and the Somalis, for that matter. And the Isa and the Somalis cannot afford that. Dad walaal ah oo Muslim ah oo Djibouti isla degan Ethiopian and neighbors ku aweeye, they can't go around being savage, killing each other's children on behalf of Habashus who live all the way in the northern part of Ethiopia, in Aksum and Mekelle and so on, when they have all the resources and they have the water dams and the electric supply and so on and so forth, and they will sort out their differences, Magarata, on the table, which the Amhara and the Tigray will eventually do, whether they like it or not. And so there's a Somali saying, Magarata, or there's something which Somalis often say, Magarata. For example, or you can even say it to two individuals who are fighting each other. And it goes something along the lines, dagaalka. Yani, if we're gonna make up anyway, why do we have to go all out? What's the point? You know what I mean? And it's like, you have to come to the table and speak at the end of all of this. So why do you want to go all out? And you can say it to two individuals. And so this is what the Somalis need to do. If the Afars are being used and they're not being very intelligent and they're not taking the moral high ground, and they're being greedy and all their eyes see is land and resources, then somebody has to think smart here and try to negotiate a way out of this. This is the only thing that I can see. That's my humble opinion, Magarata. I don't see why you would fight your neighbor. It's your neighbor. They're not going anywhere. The Europeans had World War I and World War II. They're neighbors now. They have a European Union. If the person is going to be there to stay, I don't see what the point of going all out is. And remember, this isn't the olden days where Rome would conquer and the Far East would conquer, and the Persian would conquer Magarata, and maybe even the British Empire. This is the modern world, Magarata. We have social media, we have technology, we have artificial intelligence, we have everything. And so I don't see what kind of mindset it is to be behaving like a Viking, as if you can go and attack the Afar back and pillage and rape their villages, even if you wanted to, Magarata, because that's not how it works right now. Fanta. That's my humble opinion. Come in, guys.
Yeah, I mean, regarding Corn, you have a good point there, because I thought you can't blame a whole ethnic group for something that a militia does or whatever. Mind you, Hadali's delay is not going to go anywhere, is it? It's never going to be resolved. And like you said, in Djibouti, we see that Anfar, at some point they were even being oppressed by the Isa. So I'd say, it's like a cat and mouse kind of game. It's been back and forth for hundreds and hundreds of years between these two. The Anfar and Isa, the conflict, first of all, they're both Muslim, yeah? Secondly, they're neighbors, they've always been neighbors. But they can never get a common ground and peace, except in Djibouti. Because why? You got Abdullah disguised. But in Ethiopia, it's a different case, like you mentioned, TPLF, Amhar, the governments, the division there. There's a third party. So why, like you said, why kill the Afars, who are your neighbors, and not that they're Muslim brothers and sisters? But like you said, a resolution is everything, and finding out what the real problem is, because they haven't suddenly, high-tech weapons. It's not a coincidence when there's a war going on in Ethiopia at the moment. I gotta say, so it's just finding the problem in it. What's the problem? What's going on now? It's clearly a third party involved. It has to be.
Yes, and remember, finding the problem isn't easy. Of course, the Tigray will not make it easy, and other people who have an interest in this conflict raging on and happening in different spots within Ethiopia will not be stupid enough to make it evident. But believe me, once you identify the problem, you'll realize that there's no point causing chaos and mayhem if you're going to make up anyway, which you have to make up at the end. So why not try to resolve it at the beginning? Now, obviously, the natural thing that comes, an eye for an eye. They kill 300 of mine, I'll kill 300 of theirs. I understand that. But the
This has been
elite
killing them for hundreds of years, so
Ismail Omar Gela, in fact, did do quite a lot of war crimes against them in Djibouti,
they've been getting killed,
which haven't been exposed.
So it's hard to really,
But
it's been going back and forth.
Yes, but the elite have to take a very, very rational approach here. They have to be very calculated, and they have to make up with the Afar. They have to do it. There is no other way, Magarat. And to be honest with you, ethnic group is just a name. But if people could be related and speak two different languages, I think Afar are the closest relatives of Somalis you will find, Magarat.
Yes, I agree.
And so they look the same. Their language sounds the same. A foreigner definitely couldn't tell us apart. And so you just have to wonder what kind of mindset does a person have to just be warring with every neighbor that they have. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem with us, wallahi, Somali, the problem is we're so divided amongst ourselves. So if there's Isa brother who's dying there, I've heard Somali say Isa is not even Somali anyway. Wallahi. So us not being united to start with, of course we're going to be vulnerable, or some of our people are going to be vulnerable like they are now. But big respect and credit to them, man. I mean, they've been holding it down for many years, so it's just sad that most of us don't see the harm we're causing each other by fighting with each other. If you don't know, the outsiders are like watching you. Like, they're probably going to take over city. City is going to probably be it's going to be incorporated into the different region at some point. The way it's going on, they keep taking towns and towns and towns from them. So, and who's coming to the rescue of the Isas? Nobody. So it's an internal issue, if you ask me, because Afar are not really the problem. It's us. We are the problem because we have problems with each other. Which
So who do you blame?
I blame us, Somalida. We're not united.
Yeah, the thing is, like in waxba ka horeeya ma garanaysaa waxba ka horeeya marka dadka la dilayo dilkay laga joojiyo weeyaan. That's the first step.
That's the start. Yeah, that's the first step.
qof hooyada oo ilmaheedii laga dilay aad tiraahdo, okay, let me do some sort of analysis. Waxa weeye marka dad baa lagu dilaya dhulkoodii ma garatay. Whoever is doing it must stop. We're not talking about skirmishes. These people, they've always had skirmishes here and there. As you said, one neighbors.
This is different.
She's saying to you, so they were, the federal troops are fighting us. The first thing we need to do is to stop the bloodshed. That's the first thing. When you stop the bloodshed, then we can move forward and try to resolve and find a lasting resolution to the problem. But when people have been, we've been massacred, basically, the massacre has to stop. The Somali security forces have to protect the population from
they're not doing their jobs.
From this murder and savagery.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're not saying we're not saying we're not saying we're not advocating for ethnic wars. No, the issue is obviously there's murderous campaign taking place at the moment against the Isa people. That has to stop.
I don't think it's just Isa. I think Somali or done about to get measure.
Yeah.
I mean, this particular issue. I think Ferka say that's the city, and the city waxa ku badan.
99% of them.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're trying.
It doesn't matter what Somali.
Somali way.
Yeah.
meesha kale waxa taala weeyaan dadkan dilkan wuxuu la socdaa also dadkan dhul baa laga qaatay waxay ku leeyihiin 3 magaalo laga qaatay
three towns bros
marka waxa weeyaan waxaan marka 3 magaalo laga qaatay waana lagu soo socdaa ay ku leeyihiin waana la leeyahay marka dad waxana la joojiyo weeyaan it's a basic requirement marka horta waxa weeyaan waxyaabaha kala haynoo dalbayaan horta dilka iyo dhiigga la daadanayo hala joojiyo.
Okay, let's watch another 5 minutes of this.
Yeah, the security forces of the region have to secure the people. That's Mustafa Akhtar has to come out and protect his people.
عنفر يا لقى صلابن ونسكع لنا كرنا عنفر إذا كنا واسكع لنا كرنا ما أنت مليون بان هاي الصومالي هلا يسرع الصومالي هاي يسرع ذو يا ندد لقوا يجين وحويان ما أنت الدولة يا الشعب كبا دت كلا حسوقي ها إيجان مصطفى دت كها سويغو مدحوينه مرح مالك كريا ولا صلاح ما جرتو إسقى ما أنت ماشي وقص الرئية هل كان ما أنت وكجهيو يولا كسر لبن أنا قاعد مقطع ها يا هيل يا مال يا مرغبة ولا قرب تاجنا هاي وحلي واحد دونا
ما أنت وحال كان عن سكوي مني أنا قلت إن كموجنا الدرين كيجا كو أدن sida ay nooga go'an tahay inaan uga soo horjeedno dhibaatooyinka laxaad kale ee loo geysanayo shacabkayga waxaan ugu baaqayaa dhammaan hay'adaha ammaanka dawladda federaalka ra'iisul wasaaraha dalka sidoo kale madaxda dawladda deegaanka Soomaalida in sharciga la hor keeno cid kasta oo ka dambeysay xasuuqii ama dhibaatadii loo geystay shacabka masaakiinta ah xoolo dhaqatada ee ku nool aagaasi
dhibaataynta ka taagan galbeedka gobolka City ee u dhaxaysa xafarta iyo Soomaalida ayaa ah mid soo jiitameysay waxaana ay haatan u muuqataa mid dhibaatayn aad u badan laga soo gaarsiiyay shacabka ku dhaqan galbeedka gobolka City kuwaas oo u baahan in gurmad bilaadanimo lala gaaro sida heersare telefishinka CBA jigjiga
There you go again.
That's the pressing issues we have at the moment. The killing. This killing.
Even kabaddi hore markay tiri uurka iyo dadka la
Yeah. This is savagery of the highest.
Wallahi, God bless Somali women, man. Wallahi.
Look what they have to put up with. Wallahi,
imagine.
They've been putting up with stuff like this for 50 years, 60, 70 years.
Hundreds of years.
Nobody always accept that. Defending yourself doesn't mean we're taking up arms against all the Afar people.
Defend yourself. That's it.
Or we're blaming. We're saying all the Afar people are in it. That's not. We're just simply trying to stop the murder and the savagery.
It's the militia.
Sovereign borders.
The Mustafa Akhtar, the onus is on him now. He really has to go in and take charge.
To step up.
Vigilantes will come and they'll try to defend the villages and the women.
But you have to understand.
And you know what's going to happen, Ibrahim, after that? If this guy doesn't do anything now, guess what? Habash are gonna say to the Isas, okay, we told you guys Somali Mahain, Dulkina, take it out of the Somali region, and then Gala Oroma, let's go, and then what's gonna happen? It's gonna become non-Somali. So well, they're very smart, these people, man. They're playing chess. We're playing checkers. Tit for tat. No, it's meant it's maskahra that can. They're very, very smart people, man. I'll give them that, wallah. Because if they say, oh, you guys can't handle it, the president is not doing anything for you, we can give you an option of you guys can be your own region. I think a few years ago, they're gonna do that because a few years ago, one of the politicians even said, city-state of Ethiopian is. Look at how they're dividing us already.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
They're very smart, these people. And that's how they take land.
Yeah. Craft, they're playing. They could be. Yeah, you're right. They could be playing. Craft,
they're very smart, man.
Politics. Yeah. Look at this guy. He has to clock on in it.
He's very pro-Ethiopia. This guy, by the way, Mustafa.
I don't know.
He's very pro-Ethiopia.
He has to act like a man and protect his women and his children and his.
Guys, but can I just say something, right?
On.
Why do we, as the Somalis, like to blame everybody else but ourselves? I like the direction that Mahmoud Girda. I liked where Mahmoud Girda was taking it, where he said the problem is not external, it's internal. But now the problem is we're blaming the external again. If the Afars and the Ethiopians were to listen to us, they would say, what the hell is wrong with these guys? We're using them against each other and they're still blaming us. You know, it's very low IQ. I don't understand. The problem is clearly within the Somalis, right? If you're saying that it would work for Ethiopia to divide the Isa and all the other tribes that live in Somali Galbed into different sections eventually.
Why do you think Dirdaba is not part of the Somali region?
So that
exact same thing.
So then who's to blame? Who's to blame?
Us. Of course, it's us.
No, man. You have to call a spade, my Somalis, we have to take a blame for a lot of things. You know, we're not exempting ourselves from from the situation. We are to blame, right? But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that innocent.
Okay, before you say but, innocent
Somali people.
What are the Somalis to blame for?
Let him finish. Then
allow me to finish, my brother. Yeah. Look, we're not. Somalis are definitely not blameless. Okay, but this issue is an external issue because Somalis land have been intruded upon, and their villages are pillaged. Their people have been killed day in, day out. Okay, and we need to stop the killing. We need to tell them to stop. Simple as that. And then we need to deal with our internal situations. And
wait, that's common sense. That's what the soldiers are for.
Sorry?
Wait, that's common sense. That's what the soldiers are for, Margaret.
That's what I'm saying to you. So let's take care of the basics first. Let's stop the murder.
Yeah, but that's not something, but when we come to sit on a panel and we talk like this, it's good for our conversation to be deep. The Leo police has to step in anyway. That's common sense.
That's what I said to you. The Somali.
Yeah, I think we misunderstood each other. When I was talking about finding conflict resolution, I'm not talking about immediately after that something like that happens. Of course, there has to be action, Magarata, whereby the criminals are either caught or they're killed, Magarata. But I'm talking about trying to plan some sort of program or project, Magarata, to take land away from the Afar. I think the best way to take for everybody to resolve issues is by talking, Magarata, and diplomacy, especially when they're your neighbors, Magarata, in Djibouti and Ethiopia. But obviously, when something like this happens, common sense is that the soldiers go in. They're not carrying toy guns. They go there. They go to the front line. They're on hide. They're a shield for the women and the children. And I'm afraid if they can't do it, then that means something is utterly wrong, Magarata. If a guy with a gun can't protect his women and his children from another guy with a gun and he's... Wait, what? That's one garta.
Immediate, obviously, which is stop the bloodshed, and then a long-term resolution, okay, which is how can we make sure that this conflict doesn't arise again, and how do we reconcile the communities, and how do we move forward together? That's the discussion we're going to have later on. That's a more short term and long term, like in the
brother,
immediate.
I think it's
sorry. Go on. Sorry, Lily, go.
I'm just saying, like, I agree with everything you said, but you said reconcile. Like, how are you gonna reconcile killing people? Like, especially
No, I'm saying the high weapon because the thing is
you have to understand, really, that they're not the enemy.
Well, neighbors. That's the problem. Is you have to fight. If there are saying, yeah.
Let me just say this. I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's like, how can we reconcile one? Because I don't see Afar people as enemies at all, but the action.
No, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
brother, you have to let me finish then. I'm just saying, I don't care. Like, with border, whatever history, I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Situation that is right now going on that Khaled put on this title for this subject today. These people killed our kind. We don't gotta go back and retaliate, maybe killing them. I don't know. There's difference between me, everyone different, but same time, we gotta still retaliate some way, whether it be economically or whatever. We're not gonna allow that. Like, let's stop putting Somalis as betas and cucks. Stop this. We gotta have to retaliate. We're not gonna kill people and get away with it.
Weirdly, that's why it's gonna come to Ethiopia's collapsing, like Yugoslavia in the 90s. Because all ethnic groups have got weapons and paramilitaries apart from Somalis. And we are the second largest region.
I said that before. We don't, because they gave us an arms embargo. That's why. Look, the other videos Khaled showed, it was a bunch of our women, our sisters going up and complaining. This men in the background. We have no.
Yeah, our women are getting raped.
But that's everything. Somali women are strong women, man.
We're not going to give them flowers, man, and
that's why I said we gotta be armed and dangerous. We gotta be armed and dangerous. Like, we can't we have to focus on economic development. We have to get our lag up, get our billions and billions of dollars as a community, collect and start to illegally funnel firearms and weapons into our country to defend ourselves. We have to defend ourselves. We cannot be scapegoats. You can't have bans.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, and we have to get the land back as well, because their land has been taken. 3 of their towns have been taken.
3 towns.
The land have been taken. The land
all 3 towns.
Under foreign jurisdiction, but they're still inhabited by indigenous people. We can take those lands back economically and physically, or military, whatever you want.
Really.
We have to control the money that comes out of it. Tomorrow, there's oil and NFD.
Really, speaking of economics, what do you think of the railway being blocked? Do you think it should be destroyed? The railway, since it will cripple Ethiopia.
Not destroyed, but it definitely should be.
How can he destroy it, Rod?
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's a lifeline, man.
Trying to build
who's the lifeline for? For us or them?
For 90% of Ethiopia.
For the whole country. If I can just come in, I think Rad, you're very delusional. when you think the hold on. Maya, when you come over here, right? Maya, when you Subhanallah, you know what? I'm not even taking the piss, but if I can just make a statement, I'll give you an example, right? The Ethiopian dam right now, for example, from what I've heard, Magarat, and there is no way to verify this because obviously every country keeps this kind of intelligence secret, Magarat. But there's more soldiers around the Ethiopian dam protecting it than there are fighting in the Tigray, Magarat, for example. Because that's a lifeline project. The Tigray war is not Magarata. And so the fact that you think that you can just go and cut off the lifeline, the River Nile of Ethiopia, for example, their exports and imports, is just baffling Magarata. Ethiopia, all the Amhara and the Oromos and everyone should die before you're able to do that, Magarata. Because you're little, and so would the Egyptians die,
that's
all of them, before anybody cut the Nile off before. That's their lifeline. That's how they export all their fruits and their vegetables, and that's how they exchange it and bring in all the goods and whatever, and that's how they grow their economy. And if you think you can just block it, you've got something coming.
Infrastructure towards the sea, the only infrastructure they have. So they're gonna let you destroy it.
No, but
they're not gonna rely on Mombasa and South Sudan temporarily. They'll make sure they bomb the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But Ethiopians, the Galka are cowards, man. Plus, it's embarrassing. 90% of their imports come from Djibouti, and that's vulnerable. You have to remember that railway is vulnerable.
It's vulnerable.
You could disagree with me or agree.
Very vulnerable.
That's a good point.
But what's not vulnerable is the roads and the port of Djibouti, because that's safe. Clearly, it's guarded by Americans and shit.
I don't think
So
it's.
they know,
I
they're
don't think
smart.
it's that vulnerable. I don't think it's that vulnerable when you come to think of it. The Afar and the Somalis who live alongside it are not very a big threat to the Ethiopians. They're marginalized communities, and then you also have to remember that Djibouti is basically unofficially a region part of Ethiopia, Magaratai, and so no, technically it is unofficially Magaratai. It's not as if Djibouti can refuse access to its port to Ethiopia, Magarata. And so obviously the Ethiopians do have other lines where they use for to export and import, like Mombasa port and through Sudan and so on and so forth. And Berbera, of course, which they're trying to cement right now. Yes, but all of these lines, Ethiopia will not allow for anybody, Magarata, to play with it. And obviously the most vulnerable one would be the one that goes through Berbera, but Djibouti is definitely very cemented and safe.
It's very safe. Infrastructure.
All these lines go through Somali regions. It has to go through Somali people. So
Ridley, can we trade with Ethiopia?
The reason why this conversation is so weird to me is that it became tribal, because like the East are the people facing this issue because this is their territory, but are they not still Somali? That's the issue. If today
they are,
this tribal,
Somalis don't see them. Some Somalis don't see them as Somalis. I don't know why.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But what it depends on Somali you're talking to, right? Like
some people say they
ones
are,
that did it the ones, but yeah, but they're still they're the ones
they are Somalis. They are Somalis.
Isa doesn't need Isa doesn't need validation from anybody. Somali doesn't belong to anybody.
You know the Somali and Afar. I've got a suggestion. You know how Djibouti is beating the Afar? Why don't the Djiboutians train that? Why don't they not train the owner left the Djiboutians, since they got beef with the Afar? To train the ethnic Somalis in Ethiopia.
That's not how it works. Reed. Djibouti is run both by Is and Afar. It's a nation that they both run, and look, they live peacefully, side by side.
Politically, politically, it's all Isa. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. It's 50-50. You know that? Not 50.
It's not 50-50. It's not 50-50. And no. Djibouti is run by neither Isa nor Afar. It's run by Ismail, right? And he doesn't run it in the interest. Yeah, he could be Somali for all he likes. He might as well be Japanese, because he runs it in the interest of his immediate family. The Isa people don't benefit from it. And when he targets and marginalizes the Afar, he doesn't do the interest, Isa any interest. He just creates animosity.
Playing ground.
Yes.
The reason why
part of the problem between the tensions, believe it or not, in Ethiopia from the Afar is obviously going to be fueled by the fact that they're marginalized in Djibouti. And so you could even say that Ismail Omar Guerra, like I said at the start, has a part to play in this.
Yeah,
why would if your people are marginalized in another country and you live in another piece of land together, then obviously you're not going to really be holding hands and singing Kumbaya Magrata. And so he's got a part to play in this. I believe if the relations between the Isa and Afar and Djibouti are better, which they have to be, then the Ethiopian situation will also improve.
Hold up, let me ask you guys a question, because I was in Hargeisa 2017, right? There was a Oromo Somali clashes between the borders between Oromo and Somalis. I remember Hargeisa, it became big. It was to the point where
it was in Dirdawa.
Yeah, but it was big.
Yeah, 2018.
Because Hargeisa people are not in Dirdawa like some of them, because it was part of the Khat trade, it's part of the Chad trade. And that time, it was real beef. Chad did not come for like 6-7 weeks. I remember that the city was dry, that they were importing it from Kenya. So my question is, when does it become a Somali situation or a tribal situation? Regardless, why don't we as a people not put that shit behind us and just go straight ethnically with it? Because
that would favor any Somali.
Go ahead, brother. Sorry.
You know, when the chart stopped coming, you know what happened? Yeah, it was, you have to understand that the Isas, the Dir, they have been assimilated by a lot of communities, not just the Oromo. Even if you go to Harar, the Ugas of the Isa was there a few years ago. I don't know. I saw a video, and they were speaking Harari language. Imagine. They're all Isa, but they speak Harari language. Now, these assimilated people, or are these actual Isas? Look, are these assimilated people? Are they Isas? Because they're not speaking Somali. They're speaking Harari.
Isa mix.
But
the ones that want the most east. Yeah, because you have to.
I know they're mixed. But what I'm saying is they still pledge allegiance to the Ugas, which is the guy, I forgot his name. So there's a lot of issues going on with the Dir in Ethiopia, because Oromos try to say.
Let me ask you a question, brother. When we look at the Somali region in Ethiopia, right, including tribalism, isn't all Somalis in general part of that region, and then one of our subsect? So
no, you missed it. You know what happened? I think I explained something earlier. Dirdaba, back in the day, it seems they were trying to. They never wanted to create a Somali region for Somalis. They wanted to cut them. The Somali region, they were going to allow, just say Ogaden, the Ogaden bit, the large part, and then the rest. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but that bit, yeah, they said, yeah, you are Somali, no problem. But the Isas, the Dir, the other ones in Dirdaba, they said, no, you guys. We're gonna make you a province called Dirdawa, na Isa, na Gugura, Auraja. It means wait. Let me finish. They said this region is called Dirdawa, na Isa, na Gugura, Auraja. Basically to say we made you your own provinces, so you are not Somali. You are Isa and you are Gugura. You are your own ethnic group. You can have your own city, just to divide us further. This is the game they play.
That assimilated though, because you have to understand.
No, but this was back in the 70s. There were no majority of them were all like Isas and Gurgura. There was no one else. There was just Dir people there. So this is what they do. They divide you, and then they bring their own populations to that town, and then they assimilate you. And then that's what happens.
That's all clan based, because when I went to high school too, a lot of Isa people that I know, they consider themselves Ethiopian. I used to laugh. Because they're
but those are the mixed ones, obviously.
They know Chad, they know this. They're from Djibouti. Because me too, I'm from Djibouti too. But I'm from, like, my family's from Hargeisa, like originally, but they grew up in Djibouti. But they're like, nah, I'm Ethiopian and this. I'm like, I was weirded out. I'm like, you're still Somali, because Ethiopian is basically means Abyssinian.
A nationality.
It's Abyssinian. It means, Amhara, Tigray, whatever, and maybe Harari and all the subclans of the Muslims, but they're all Habesha people. But going on to my point, it's like what I don't get in general, especially with our own clients, like that Somali region belongs to everybody. That's our territory.
Of course.
The Isa have assimilated in Dirda, which used to be Dirdabe, whatever it's called. Today it's like Addis Ababa. It's its own administrative.
It's Habesha, no.
Yeah, they copy same thing with Harar. Harar is Habesha too. They make beer. It's the fourth holiest city.
Ridley,
and that's how they take Somaliland.
You have to understand, brother. You have to understand is that this all comes from a certain aspect of colonialism and pushing us back from our because we were going forward, then they pushed us back. Now, what pushes us back more?
Move it, yeah.
Oh, you muted yourself, really.
Yeah, bad. It's lack of understanding. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Somali needs unity. That's it, man.
No, that too, but it needs economic. Like, we have to follow our economic policy.
Yeah, but what brings that? United or divided?
Interest. You know what I mean? Everyone helps each other get some money. We do this. We have to have some sort of like a structure that is very I don't know how to.
Really, why don't you start a political party?
Mentality, you should keep within your own group financially, specifically, and correlate when it comes to specifically young males. Males is that we help each other get employed. We network. We give each other money from the UK to Canada to the US, whatever. If there's economic opportunity, we can help each other. We do that. Take our money, bring it back home. We have to start thinking like galos. We gotta stop all of that. Stop all of that bullshit, bro. Because we can, look at the conversation today. Afad, no disrespect, it's one of the poorest regions in Ethiopia. Like, it's dead, and then they're killing us right now across our border. Women are complaining that men are it's sad. What the fuck is a Somali man today? Like, this is a joke. Like, It's not. This is like not even an AK-47. Like, what's going on? Like, there's an issue going on. Like, at least
Yes,
make
yes, Ridley. Yes, Ridley. That's a good question. What's wrong with Somali men? Like, what happened to the Somali men of the 13th century? These 2000.
They're too busy talking about women.
Brother, that's 700 years ago.
Exactly my point.
Complain about women. That's what's wrong with Somali
I said that last night.
Yeah, والله Somali women are queens, man. They're strong, mashallah, man. Respect. Not often, really, especially to you, Adiga.
Be careful with that word strong.
No. What'd you say, Mahmoud? What'd you say?
Well, not
انت على علي ريدليو
Hold on, brother. Let's not get to that topic. We're talking about the people.
Yes, but Ridley, you distracted us. You distracted us from preparing ourselves.
It's very difficult. Let's keep to this topic, bro. Let's forget that. Let's keep to this topic. Wallah, that's Somali. Military. And
Ridley, my solution is right. Yeah, my solution.
Brad, relax. Look at the Tigrayans. They got disassociated with the Ethiopian National Defense Force. They made a TDF, like some Jewish shit. Quick. They already made it. They got artillery, everything out of nowhere. Even though they robbed the Northern Command in Hamara region, because they sell their own people out. That's how they did it.
What? Out of nowhere? You just say out of nowhere.
They did that. But
they've been in charge for the last 30 years, mate.
In Abti, wallahi, they not even that. They had a whole army organized. Because let's go back in history. Back in the Derg regime, the Eritreans and the Tigrayans of Ethiopia together came because everyone has to focus. The Eritrean independence movement was Islamic more than it was afforded to them, because it wasn't until Haile Selassie said that Tigrayan language was not going to be part of Ethiopia. It was Amhara. That's what he Amharanized it. That's the issue why Ethiopia divided, because he wanted one language for 80 ethnic groups. And certain groups like us, the Cushitic, the Ethio-Semitic, we're not fucking with that. That's why we went to war, all of us. But long story short, the people from Abyssinia, the north side, they came down, they did everything. They took over Addis Ababa, they kept going through, did everything. 1991, they did the EPRDF, they did the whole thing, 27 years, boom. When the Oromos were protesting, because the Oromos are about to destroy the whole, they're about to go they're about to destroy the Ethiopian control center, because they live in Addis Ababa, like the center of the capital of the country of Ethiopia is in Oromo heartland. And you don't want Oromos to do that, to go Somali mode. We see what happened to Hamad. You don't want that to happen to Addis. So they're let's switch the president. Let's do this. The president, low key, people don't know, is he's intercultural. His dad is Oromo, but his mother that raised him is Amhara. I don't know if you guys
Amhara,
know.
And his wife is Amhara. Don't
yeah,
forget.
he's a Christian.
He's more, he's more of Amhara than he's
we think he's
Oromo.
a Muslim Oromo, but he's a Christian.
No, he's not.
Amhara. He really is. He's dirty. Even Amharas don't like him like that. But he always goes to them. He talks to them in the meeting, like, yo, this is why.
Is it Abtiashis?
Mahatri
His uncles, yeah.
I don't think it's like that. Nah. Because Oromos are divisive people too. But the difference is they have different religions, different cultures. And the closest ones to us is the ones in the Arsis, the Boranas, but even then they beef with us too. Like we always, as Somalis too, we always beef a lot of people with ourselves. But the situation going on in Ethiopia is like a Rad said, it's going to become balkanized. The reason why they allow Ethiopia is their history. It should already be invaded right now. But the Tigrayans were pro-American. They get this. What do you think? Look at this. This is the issue with Somalis too. When it came to the situation in Tigray, everyone was saying shit. Oh, genocide, nah. Do the same thing with Somalis. It's quiet. But when Palestine happens, I don't know why I see Somalis crying. Something happens to Kong or any other country. Why are Somalis crying? But no one's doing this. No one's doing that. I'm happy Khaled did this, to be honest. Shout out to him, bro. Because he did it pretty early, too. This has been 3 days, 2 days. And this news came out.
Good one.
Wallahi, real talk. This is real. And it's sad, too, because it's Cushitic brothers too. People that were used a couple hundred years ago were in the same bracket on Islam, fighting the Christians in Abyssinia. Now today we're fighting each other.
We're very close, very close people. Yeah,
not even that they're poorer than us, so I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So it's getting conflicted, but at the same time, it's easy to pick a loyalty, where you from and you rep it. You can rationalize it and say, oh, we can do a peace deal and forget we can, but no, you need when 300 people, women, whether it be women, men, and children, whatever the case is, you gotta get a get back. At least a couple camels, a couple cows, but they can't afford it now. Okay, then a couple people gotta die. They say no, then okay, we'll see you in the battlefield. It sounds very old-fashioned, but what else is there to do? Like, what do you want? Like, they can't give money too. We can't be soft. If Somalis do nothing, we've already been looking soft. We can't allow these type of activities to happen.
Big up Khalid for bringing this up, man. Where's the BLM and Palestine? Really, tell him.
Pardon me, brother. Muhammad, what'd you say?
Muhammad.
Big up to Khalid, man, for bringing this topic up, man. It's been going on for years. Never had any stream about it. Only on Somali speakers.
But you have to look at it too. The Horn of Africa, the situation of the Horn of Africa is sad. Out of all of Africa, we're always that region that's always conflicting.
It's poor in that region.
Too prideful.
And a lot of conflict.
We're too prideful from our ethnic groups. We have to learn to sit down and cooperate economically and to politically lead our own people. Every ethnic group needs to lead their own people. There's no such thing as unity, none of that. Economically speaking, we should all share, we should have a European Union type of economic friendship. Besides that, politically, everyone holds their own thing. If someone wants to be pro-gay, fuck you, keep this. Someone wants to be this, that, but it's hypothetical. It's never gonna happen. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, we gotta learn how to work with each other economically. Because at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying too. The Tigrayans were living off Somali's despair. They were laughing on us. They were influencing our destabilization. They influenced 2007 when the Islamic Court Union were uniting each other. All the Sheikhs came together to control Hamad after 10 or 17 years of war. And then, you know what? They're like, nah. We're not America influencing to come through. Oh, the Tigrayans. Look at the Tigrayans. Their people are getting raped, getting pillaged. Just look at Ethiopia. It's karma. I don't believe in karma, but that's what happens when you let your neighbor and your people that are closest to you get destabilized. It's going to slowly come to you. We didn't do none of that. This is what happens when your country is made by force and not by understanding, by education and a rational thinking process. You think you can dominate people under the Solomonic dynasty? You think you can dominate people under the hegemony of Christian, leadership under northern Ethiopia? You can, but let's see how it goes. And the Oromos are the ones that set, this 2018, 17, and 16 as well, set the motion for this. They were doing the protest, change of leadership. Abiy was under the Tigrayans too. People don't know that, bro. That man was under them people, bro. They controlled everything. They were the strong elite. And they lost everything, but that's why they're fighting for their life right now. They're fighting for their life, and they're using our people to fight each other because our people we lack in Ethiopia. We don't have no schools. We don't have no good water. We don't have none of that. So they're making us fight each other, We should control our borders and let them die. Our father, control your borders, let them die. Let them fight each other. Fuck them, bro. It's not our problem.
Yeah, but you don't want to see your neighbors suffer, innit? Because it's.
Who's your neighbor? Afar, or you talk about Tigray?
No, I'm saying Afar. I mean, the thing is, they're basically they're neighbors to Somalis, and we wish good for them. We wish good for them. Yeah, but I think they have to stop what they're doing. We don't wish harm for anybody. I think we want our neighbors to be at peace with us, innit, and at peace with themselves.
I think what we're forgetting, Ibrahim, is that this is a private militia. It's nothing to do with Afar people or anything. Private militia. Obviously,
I'm just saying generally though. You want your neighbors, generally, you want your neighbors to be in good state. You know what I mean? It's generally speaking, isn't it?
Of course, you can thrive with each other that way.
Yeah, you don't want to wish harm on them, do you? I mean, it's alhamdulillah.
Brother, 300 people got killed. What else? I'm not wishing harm on the Afar. Wallah, I look at them as my brothers ethnically and genetically, but at the same time, when you kill my people, like I'm not gonna stand. If I'm thinking,
No, I'm not saying you stand there and do nothing. No, that's not what I'm saying. No.
So let me ask you, what's your solution? How can we reconcile? Just sit down on the table after 300 people's bodies are there?
No. I said I said earlier on that we need to the Somali security forces have to stop the situation. They have to stop the murder and pillaging immediately. They have to stop that. Yeah, and the people have to get their towns back, secure the borders, all right, and then moving forward to the future, then they need to find a long-term solution in it. Yeah, so that peace.
Talking like BBC.
No, but that's I'm talking about the long-term interest. I'm talking about the long-term interest of the region, innit? Long-term interest of the region and the long-term interest of the two peoples. Yeah, you don't want this to be flaring up again in the future. You want peace to hold. You want people to live in peace. So that short term we have to stop. People have to the president has to send in the forces. Yeah, he has
to send forces. The president of Ethiopia region.
No, I'm talking about the president of the Somali region, isn't it? They've got their own. Yeah, they've got their own internal security.
That man sent Somali soldiers in the front lines, and you didn't see the video. You guys didn't see that video, eh? The one where Somali soldiers were going on the battlefield in Tigray, and Amhara soldiers were retreating. They were singing in Amharian, like go back, and it was videotaped. I forgot what it was. I seen it on the internet. Well, I was shocked. I don't know. It could have been propaganda, but I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck? But the guys were speaking Somali on the phone too. So I was curious, like, what's going on? But even how can a man be loyal when he's talking to the enemy? The Mr. President, Abiy, or Prime Minister, allowed this to happen. The Tigrayans, how is Tigray influencing Afar? How bad is your military? But like Ahmed T said earlier, they're focusing their strength on that dam, because that's the number one tool. Like that dam has to be protected. Like he's fighting wars in so many different fronts, But the fact that he has a unnecessary inner conflict battle within the Somali Afar region makes.
Hold on. There's a guy who just joined in. His name is Yusuf. Afar aren't killing Isa except for transgender who tried to steal Afar land. Even the other Somali clans dislike Isa because they're aggressive. I agree, they did take a lot of Afar land. I'm not going to be biased. Yeah, they did take a lot. Because if you look at Adaitu and Dufu, these are Afar names. They're not really Somali names, are they? So a lot of the land they have taken, I agree, it's theirs. But still, there's a way of taking land, man. They didn't take it with an army, did they? They took it with a couple of guys with guns. And they didn't kill the whole population. Especially not 300 plus. So you have to take that into account as well. I think he's Afari, I don't know, Yusuf Ibrahimovic. So, But ISIS have been known to be aggressors. I agree.
No, you have to.
They have been known to be aggressors in the past. Huh?
By who though? By who?
Well, Oromos used to complain about them, and Afar both, because they used to take their lands and whatever. Not take their land, but they used to they were kind of aggressive. They're aggressive people. I'll give them that. They are quite aggressive when it comes to land and that, because they don't give up land easily. You have to bring a military to move them out of the land. Let's be real.
If it's their land,
ISIS, huh?
They should persist in it.
Why are we talking about ISIS like that? Are they really that distinct? Damn, that's crazy.
What?
ISIS, when everyone's like ISIS, like are they like I know ISIS are very Ethiopian niggas. Like yeah, that's true.
I think you're misunderstanding the situation, Ridley.
Yeah, I am probably.
Somali Bahawi, they're very nomadic people, and all Somalis have got are sitting on land which technically is not theirs, Magarata. You could say as far south as NFD, even in Jubaland, where I'm from, some of the towns have Boran names and Oromo names and so on, Magarata. And so it just begs the question, you guys weren't here first, who was, Magarata? And so, but that's how nomadic people are, Magarata. And those guys push other people out of their lands, and so do the Bantus expand from Congo, Magarata. It's normal. It's what humans do. But when people talk about Isa, the reason they talk about it is because Somali Bahawi,
they're very distributed in the Horn, and so in the area where this conflict is going on, they are the only ones who neighbor those guys. On the other hand, if something happened in the south eastern part of Somali Galbet, for example, where the Godia and so on and the Garra are, then you would be mentioning their names next to Moya Lamagarata by the Kenyan-Ethiopian border. And so it just depends on where the issue happens. It's nothing to do with the fact that they're different. It's just, it depends where it kicks off Magarata.
Massive. Hawiyas also hate Isa. When Hawiyas and Isa, where do they even cross paths? You don't mind me asking.
They don't cross paths at all.
At all.
They're not even close.
The
only people
you can't justify, you know.
Those the only niggas that cross with everybody. They touch everybody. I don't know. You know, every clan has the historical land, but Ahmed T said what he said, you know, especially with the South, you know, and I wanna click on that. I don't want to go divert out of the topic a bit, but you know, you said like Somalis took over land in some of the South Oromo and NFD. Can you elaborate on that? Because I feel like NFD still technically Somali territory. I feel like.
Well, not even as far as NFD. You can, for example, the Jubaland region where I'm from.
Oh, yes.
You've got, which is even north of NFD, Magarata. You've got areas where Boran people used to live, Magarata. And those Boran people now live in Kenya, Magarata. They're one of the ethnic groups who live in Kenya. Yes, and so it's not that strange that they were moved out of there. And the towns do have those names. Some villages and settlements where people have named their new names.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to ask, so because you know you're probably more educated on me on this topic. Do you think that Somalis are not indigenously inhabitants of the NFD, like that territory that's not ours? We took it, no one inhabited it, we own it, we live in it, and the land is part of ours. Like, do you think that?
Oh no! They own Wajer as much as they own Hargeisa. They own Garissa as much as they own Bur'a. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm trying to say to you is that they're nomadic Magarata. They expand.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all I'm saying. But there's no one questioning it. When you look at the different ethnic groups who live in Kenya, nobody has dispute that it's their land.
Yeah, but expansionism is something to common to a lot of people. A lot of tribes. I mean, the thing is, you could argue that the Tigrayans and the Amharas have actually taken a lot of land from the Oromos, and the Oromos have taken a lot of land from the Somali. You know, you know, people, you know, tribes move around and they expand. You know, it's not.
Nobody expands as much as a nomad. The thing about the Tigrayans, but hear me out. They were Magarata farmers, and they were quite city people, Magarata, Aksum, and so on and so forth. And so their expansion was maybe through ruling, but they weren't moving around like we did.
Yeah, but the thing is, their one is the one which is organized actually more dangerous. I mean, you know, because you're talking about power now. You know, you're talking about power and domination. When you have power and domination on your side, you can conquer people, and you can displace people, and you can overrun, you know, massive grounds. You know what I mean? So I mean, they if you look at the history of the Amhara and the Tigrayans, they actually displaced the Marawite kingdom.
I think you've misunderstood me, brother. I'll give you an example why they're not more dangerous. Soomaalida Ilaahay baa dhulka ku barakaystay dhul aad u ballaaran oo barwaaqa buu siiya. They lived in a large swathe of land before the colonialists came. We fought the Habashas and they never ruled over us. The only reason you consider them to be dangerous is because the European colonialists plotted against us, Magarata. And so that's why they're in charge of this land. But they didn't expand as much as us. That's why we lived with such a small population in such a large swathe of land. They were farmers. They farm until this day, Magarata. And they lived around the riverbanks and on the mountains and so on. Like in Somalis go wherever they want. The guy goes wherever there is grazing land. And so he finds new land. And so It's just that in this modern world, borders, and so this is used against the Somalis. But if we were living in a tribal world of the past, no one would have more land than us. We would even expand further than we are now. God knows where we would be. Maybe we would be in Namibia or South Africa.
Yeah, but the thing is, laakiin waxaan ku leeyahay waxa weeye imankan iyagu waxay ka yimaadeen maad garanaysaa nimankan amxaarad iyo ma garatay Soomaalida waa qiyaas waxay ka yimaadeen waad qiyaasaysaa iyo xagga imika tagay laakiin amxaaradu iyo nimankan isku muxuu ahaa isku qoyska yihiin xagga ka yimaadeen maad garanaysaa waxay they were right waxay joogeen maaragtay Egypt agteeda ka yimaadeen iyagu. I mean, moved down.
No. They came from thousands of years. They migrated along the Red Sea from the Yemen area.
No. The high waxaan ku leeyahay ma fahmin. Waxaan ku leeyahay markay ka yimaadeen Yemen waxay meelo fog oo buraha fog ee makaxay ku taala Tigriya iyo Alasariyada fog xaggaasay ku degeen. Ma garatay? And they also saying and they displaced the Meroite kingdom. So, you don't understand. Marka way soo daadegeen iyagu ku dhow.
That's thousands of years ago.
Inagu waa 10,000 years ago. iyagu waa dhulka ku fideen waxa way dhul badan oo way bay ku fideen.
maadan fahminaade Soomaalida boqol sano hadii la siiyo
iyagu naga daran yihiin. Let me make this point, brother. Iyagu way naga daran yihiin. Actually, they're not even indigenous to the land. The Cushitic, they're not even Cushitic people.
They are indigenous to the land.
No,
living somewhere for thousands of years. I'm sorry, you're indigenous.
No, hang on a minute. I'm Cushitic, Sahib. Ukadi. Miyad didn't inay ka yimaadeen Yamantiya meelaha inay ka yimaadeen.
That doesn't matter when you live somewhere for a certain amount of time.
Inay ka yimaadeen xagga Yemen iyo across the sea. Ma diidin. Marka dadkii meesha deganaa, dadkii Cushitic ahaa ee ku dul fadhiisteen oo dhex galeen
meel buu ka yimid
marka
meel buu ka yimid
marka dahay waa laga hor dhulka waa laga leeyahay
laga malaha
ma waa laga leeyahay saaxiib waa laga soo
gala ragga kala soo kaliya ma qabsanay soo gala
dadka waad ku dul fadhiisay saaxiib that's a fact inta ku dul fadhiisay ayaad ku dul fadhiday for 2,000-3,000 years. That's there were feudals. That's feudal. They had their feudal system for 3,000 years.
They أجنبيين إبراهيمو وحما يدينا.
They became indigenous. Like they came why are they so feudalistic? Why do you think why do you think they are the way they are? That measure take away the Meroite kingdom by measure is they can't make a measure. In fact, Burta Kubunta, Burta Hagunta, way baqanayeen markii dad baqanayo meel u baxsanaya marka waxay buraha meesaan sidaan loo soo taageereen amba aan loogu soo duurin buraha waaweyn dhaadheer ba ku dhunteen markay dhunteen oo dhismeen ay xoogeysteen ay dadkii meesha deganaa obviously ay qabsadeen oo dadkii dhulka bahashii haysatay meesha dhulka waxay ahayd the Meroite kingdom haystay markaas iyadoo si oo adigu eventually they became weak iyagana waxay noqdeen strong iyagay la wareegeen markii doona dhulkan ku soo fadhiyeen oo shooting haba qabsadeen oo they basically they abused them for 3,000 years. It's just a fact of history. Inkastoo dhex galeen dadku xoog bay u dhex galeen oo in fact dadku shooting save gareeyay the kingdom a few times ma garatay laakiin just well they wax meesha yaalo weeyaan marka iyagu dhul badan bay qabsadeen dadkana way ku dul fadhiyeen taasoo sano wulana way ku dul fadhiyaan
waan gartay si dhacay laakiin bigab waan si saxan baay laakiin dadkeena walaalaheena ciisa caawiya anyone who can do some fundraiser for them wada iska dhibaato haysta the shacab fighting against people with weapons and respect, man. Nothing but respect.
Well,
waxay lahayn that other way. And they still in those towns. Laga xaday. They still there.
Alhamdulillah, look ilaashadeen. We have to work.
They took some lands back in it. Somali Ibrahim.
Yeah. Well, what's happening to them is very sad, but we have to. The government has to step up, man. Mustafa has to step up. Sending the army. Has to stop the killing. That's what we need.
I can see another dirdaba happened in the city region. They're gonna say, "Oh, don't worry, don't come in, Dylan. Don't worry, we're the federal. We're gonna give you your own state. It's حكومة." And then and Habashi or Roma dul Kenny, and then before we know it, maybe Jirawadki. What book digna?
Yeah.
This is the game they play. That don't play with one. Habashi they're very, to divide communities. That's what they've been doing in Ethiopia, to divide their own communities. Look at the minority today ruling over the whole 100 something million. Imagine. These guys, they've got tactics and they've got resources.
We're very clever, man.
We're very clever.
These guys they've been they've had a kingdom for 3,000 years.
Yeah, no, it's no joke.
I don't know how they survived.
Maya, you're exaggerating, brother. If I can just come back, and I was a little bit busy with something. When you say that someone is not indigenous, what does indigenous mean? Everybody started from somewhere, magarata. Mankan cadaanka oo hadda wadankooda joogo. Waxay ka imaadeen according to magarata science wax walba la sheego Africa ka imaadeen magarata. And they settled here, and now they're the indigenous magarata. Hadda you imaadeen dhulkoodii weeye. And so if you're somewhere for thousands of years, then you're as indigenous as it gets. Not to mention only that, population ka adduunka waagi hore aad buu u yaraa. Hadda Africa cidlata, what do you think about 3,000-4,000 years ago, there was barely anyone there, and so they settled, and as far as ruling over people, I did say not to underestimate the Tigray, but let's not exaggerate their power and their reach. They have a lot of allies who want them to be in charge over the Oromo and the Somalis and the Afar and so on, which is the Europeans. It's as simple as that.
Lakin haddii marka dadkii sii joogay meesha in dhulka kaama laha
war cid meesha sii joogtay ma laha adiguba haddaad waxaad ka imaada xagga iyo Masar baad ka imaada haddaad
no I'm saying
meesha sii joogtay maxay
I'm talking about history, brother. waxaan iska sameeyay maaha
maya taydaba waa history waxay ku taa I give you simple hadda maxaan ku siiyay simple evidence Soomaalida in the last couple of hundred of years lafteeday soo migrate garayeen oo South Somalia imaadeen NFD dadka dhulka lahaawo
waxaan ku leeyahay Soomaalida qura maaha haddii if you're talking about expansionism Soomaalida
I know everybody does it
dadka kale siman yihiin marka waxa weeyaan
may anigu waxaan yiri Soomaalida they're nomadic, so it's very easy for them to expand ma garata.
Well, possibly, because you're one socona. That's true.
Yes, if you're a farmer, you're not going to move anywhere. You've got good fertile soil, Magarat. You've got the river. You've got everything you need. You've got lush land. You're not going anywhere. You build a civilization there. But if you're a nomad, you travel.
You travel a lot. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's just sometimes people want to use the argument to say Somalia, which is, that's the way Magarat. That's what Somalia said. Look, the law saw it. The land doesn't really belong to you.
That's nonsense. That's
they're basically farmers and settled sanditry and the pastoral or nomadic people in it.
Let me ask you a question though.
Yeah, go on.
Are Somalis indigenously farmers? Are they like farming type people? Do we do that, or are you pastoralists?
But majority of us were nomadic people, in it.
No, we are not farmers. We have never been farmers. Well, at least not for the last couple of hundred. We have not been farmers for a long time.
Maybe not a long time. Like that Somali which or barely which. I don't know for how long.
waxay u badan yihiin jaraarta iyo waxay u badan yihiin dadkaas
ma sax way jiraan imaka dad xaggan if you go to the Qoyi
ma haddaad ka hadlaysaa
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know for how long. Like in that barely wada leeyahay Somali way joogaan ma badna laakiin wala helaya
maya marka farming la rabo inay ogaadaan dadka inay yihiin community-ga la fiiriyo shakhsi lama fiiriyo yareer beer leh waxa yaro masaga dad abuuranayo waxa la fiiriyaa community farming weey jirta meesha
waa community farm baan ku sheegaya dad waxaa jira
ma haddaad ka hadlaysaa mise dad 100 sano wax farm garaynayay
dee maybe 100 sano ma garan karo laakiin dhul waxay leeyihiin waa farmers oo dhul bay beertaan waa dad ma badna oo yar yihiin laakiin dad farmers waa laga helaya Soomaalida aan ku leeyahay inkastoo badankoodu yihiin
who are they though? What's the Somali farmer that like traditionally and indigenously are Somalis farmers? I think they're just pastoralists. Like that's what they do. Like if they pick farming up, they picked it as a new hobby and new habit. You know, it's not because that's the case.
Ethnic Somalis, ethnic Somalis farmers maaha inta badan waxaa weeye even in the south markaad imaado dadka farmlandka iyo beeraha iyo webiyada agdegan inta badan diyaar waxaa weeye dadka kale weeye qowmiyadaha kale oo yaryar minoritiska Soomaalida ma
ma sameeyaan because waa imika gabila oo kale dadku waa farmers dad badan oo xaggan muxuu ahaayey maxaa la yidhaha awdal way leeyihiin dad dhulkay qotaan ma badna laakiin arway jiraan
waxaas ma hadda anigu malaftayda meeshaan ka yimid
I don't know how long to say to you. I don't know how long they've been. I can't ascertain that.
It hasn't been long. It hasn't been long.
I don't know how come garanayo laakiin waxaan ogahay in la helayo dad badan oo beero dhaqata xagga at least inuu dhinacaas aan garanaya so xaggaas at least waa laga helaya laakiin ma badna definitely
Ibrahim, you Ahmed, you have a question for you guys, right? So with this topic going on, right, with the situation with Somalis and Ethiopia, regardless with our people, what do you think it takes for our people in the diaspora, whether gender, whatever the situation going on politically or anywhere, what should it take for us to unite, especially as diaspora people, back to our I think it's the solution for the diaspora Somalis, the young folk, to unite to help their country. That makes sense.
Yeah, you mean how do we go back or establish some sort of connection with our homeland and help
that too, but
the
like,
people back home?
Even in the diaspora, how can we unite in the diaspora, whether it be England, Canada, the USA's, Sweden, Norway, all the places that we are in the diaspora? What is the solution for us to unite, and what problems should we solve for us to unite, for us to come back to our country and help each other? That makes sense, like what is the steps that we have to take to help each other and help our country? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a big question, man. that's very difficult. It's a very difficult question, man. Ahmed, try it.
It's a few different questions. I mean, because for one of the questions was to go back. I mean, going back is not as simple as being united or the country being stable. There is many diasporas from other countries which are pretty developed, which choose to stay in more developed countries because of their own personal family reasons, and their own personal lifestyles. So going back is another topic in terms of settling there. But with regards to uniting, I think unity starts at home. And so if the people back home are more unified, I think that will reflect in the diaspora. Not saying that the diaspora won't unite or that they have a reason not to unite, but in order to unite, to develop each other back home, like, for example, if we were more united back home, we would be united in the diaspora and we could help out in this situation more effectively. But now that we're divided back in the Horn, we're also going to be divided here. So chances are it's only going to be the Isa community from that area who is helping out, sending money or protesting and whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's not as simple as it sounds. It's quite a lot of things going on at once.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, especially if in the diaspora, people, because you're spread out into different countries. To have like a worldwide diaspora under one umbrella is hard, isn't it? That's very hard. That's difficult. But I think maybe if we can raise our children, take family life a bit more seriously, just raise our children to the best of our abilities. Make sure they speak Somali. You know, they're confident about who they are. And we, inshallah, try to find peace in the south, because I think the south is where the trouble is, isn't it? If you can find peace there, then alhamdulillah, people will begin to return. You know, if people have that connection with their culture and their language, and the south becomes very peaceful, I think they'll begin to return and bring their skills and their knowledge and their wealth back. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's not that complicated for the diaspora to unite. It's more complicated back home, Magarat. And so all we can do here in the diaspora is just pray that they get their act together, Magarat, whether it be Somali Galbet or anywhere else. It's as simple as that, as far as I see it.
Yeah, but I think the south is more critical, because obviously, that's the heart of the country, isn't it?
It's the most fundamental. It's the most fundamental piece of the puzzle. But,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
there is quite a few hands involved in that area, so it might be a little bit more complicated. But who knows?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I think, that's really that's where the issue is, isn't it? If that place can be if that can be stabilized, then alhamdulillah, I think we've got a chance of actually building the country, and then inshallah, that would attract our children and the diaspora to come back home.
Mahama, it's like you said. It's like you said, but
yeah, I know there's a lot of issues in the south, but I think we just have to. It has to, because otherwise, I think it looks like the north will probably have to go. We'll probably get recognition if the south continues to be in the situation it's in. I think north would have to get. North will probably have to get recognition, because they can't wait forever. They can't be in purgatory forever. They're in purgatory. Like, you can't. The south is not going to be sorted, and we can't let you go.
That's the thing, though. I don't think it's down to the south fixing itself up. I think there's foreign interest involved when it comes to regards to recognizing our country or separating it, or how many pieces it should be separated into, or disputed areas and whatever, and so on and so forth. And so it just depends when they decide, Magarata. So as negative as that sounds, Magarata, that they feel that they want to divide Somalia, Magarata. I think it's down to the Somalis. Although the Somalis can obviously do the mature things, they can talk to themselves, and then they could say, okay, let's separate, or let's do this, or let's do that, Magarata, which they haven't done for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as it seems, Magarata. The south is very complicated, and although we refer to it as the south, there's a few different areas with a few different issues going on, Magarata. And so it's just a matter of whether Somalis are mature enough to stay together as a country, and if not, maybe it will lead to a fragmentation of more than one country. Who knows? Maybe it won't just be the south and Somaliland. Maybe it will be Puntland and other areas and so on, also claiming their independence, seeing as they're not as complicated as the other southern area. And in a sense, they're not the south anyway, they're southeast. They're south in terms of Italian Somalia, but it's the northeastern region, And so there's a lot of dynamics at play, man. But obviously, priorities, you've got to get the priorities right, and the first thing comes first, Magara. I think everybody from different regions just have to try and fix their region, and we have to try to get to some sort of agreement, Magara, on where we want this to go after 30 years, Magara.
Yes.
And if they're willing to fragment, if Somalis are willing to fragment each other into different states, different countries, 2, 3, 4, then Magara. Tough luck. That's how they want it to be. Then that's and if that's what the bigger nations in the world want, then I'm afraid that's how it's going to be, Magara.
Yeah, I don't think the South will balkanize. Well, it's not gonna balkanize to the point where they'll become independent countries. I don't think I think
you'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised.
I think the status quo. I think the status quo will probably. I think the foreigners will probably like the status quo to continue, or to be how to say, to be to subsume a neighboring to the neighbor for the neighboring country to subsume certain portions of the south. So Kenya will probably take Jubaland or something, and then Ethiopia would take it, something like that.
Yeah, but that's the south separating. That's the
I think South will probably either stay like this, or probably get dissolved.
The thing is, there's no way that we can know, Magarat. This is on the big menu table with the big countries, Magarat, when they're discussing it, and they've obviously set a timeline, Magarat. All the Somalis can do is try to fix themselves up and deal with the simple little issues, Magarat, of tribalism and getting rid of terrorism and so on and so forth. But even if it's stable or not, then I think Somalis don't really have a say in the balkanization of their country, because they're such tribalist people that it's very easy for them to come up with such ideas that they want to divide.
Yeah, but I think, but it's more of the leaders, isn't it? I think the leaders are the ones who use tribalism to attain power. I think the people are not. They're not that trouble. They're not tribalistic to the extent where, they're willing to completely balkanize their country or become part of.
Oh, they are. Oh, you'd be surprised when you ask somebody where they're from and they tell you they're Mamul Gawared, their federal state. They're basically telling you their tribe, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's fine. But I'm not to the extent of basically saying, we want to become part of, Ethiopia or part of Kenya. Not to that extent. I think
you'd be surprised, man. Because once you create these federal states, and Somalis are not very are not mature enough to understand what federalism means, and they're all running around with their flags, Magarata, and their things on their wrist and everything, and then saying that they're from Puntland, Jubaland, and Galmudug and so on.
Yeah.
Then the selfish gene comes in, whereby the clan thinks, well, I've got a port, and I've got access to the ocean, I've got farming land, I've got my own piece of land, I've got my own population, and only majority of this area is my tribe. Why don't I just split it up from the rest and have my own little country? And so that's the mindset. Because that's why the federalism is so strong now, and the federal leaders don't want to listen to the main guy who's supposed to be the president of the country, which has been happening for the last 4 years, and it happened the 4 years before that, and the 4 years before that, or at least the last 8 years, because they behave like countries,
Yeah.
They don't even call themselves Mamul Gabalet now; they call themselves Dolet Gabalet, and so on.
Yeah.
And which in a sense doesn't make sense, because in a sense they're a Mamul, they're not really a Dolet. But even if you do call it the Dolet Magarat, it's just playing with words. It's like you're calling your federal state Dolet, and you're calling your head a president. You're not choosing any other word. You're being very specific with the word you use. The flags are all over Magarata, and so because you have federal states all over the world, Magarata, you have federal states in America, and nobody really runs around with a California flag or a Texas flag, Magarata, or a New York flag. It's just federal states in terms of governance, and they're called governors, Magarata, governor of California, governor of Texas, and so on and so forth. But Somalis have chosen to make it into like many states, many countries, and so that's why sometimes I say, in a sense, the colonizers didn't even have to divide and conquer the Somalis. The Somalis did the dividing themselves. They just had to conquer them.
Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think the South should prioritize? Then, what do you think? What do you think they need to do to be able to move from where they are to a situation of stability and unity?
Well, you see, the thing is, it always depends when you ask this question where that person is from.
Yeah.
Magarata, where in the south is from. So somebody from Puntland will give you a different answer. Somebody from Galmudug will give.
somebody who's in Banadir who will give you a different answer. And that's the sad part of the situation we find ourselves in. Somebody from Banadir would say that I just want the country to be, the capital to be safe, Magarata, and Al-Shabaab to be removed from the country.
Right.
Sorry, Mohammed,
somebody
cut
from...
you off here. Shuaib, can you speak?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I can speak. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Go.
I'm just letting the brother talk. I wanted to listen to what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sum up so you can come in. But somebody from Banadir will probably say the most pressing issue is deal with Al-Shabaab. Somebody from Puntland will say they want more autonomy, Magarata.
Yeah.
Somebody from Galmudug might say that they want Puntland to relinquish its claim from Mudug, as Mudug is part of Galmudug, Magarata.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth, Magarata. And then people in Jubaland might be divided among the interference level of Kenya, Magarata. Some people might say that Kenya is our neighbor, we should have more ties with them, Magarata. Or some people might even go as far as to say that they want to be part of Kenya, although they won't say it out loud, but I know a lot of politicians are behaving that way in Jubaland. And so each region is different, Magarata. It's just, but me personally, the main thing I would say is to get rid of terrorism. But yeah, come in, guys.
Yeah, first things first, terrorism is
Okay. Okay.
a strong army that can subdue the terrorism, get rid of the terrorism. Then all these other regional leaders, major leaders like police generals that step out of line would get in line. They'll stop moving, like they'll stop doing fuckeries, innit? They'll stop doing stupid things in the country. But as long as you don't have no strong central power, there will always be corruption and everything else under the sun. You know what I mean? And because during Siad Barre's time, when he was president, none of this happened. There was, you know what I mean? Everything, schools were free apparently.
Yeah.
Health was free. Everyone had healthcare. Everyone had free schools. Do you know what I mean? And it was very peaceful. There was no one killing at a particular point of time. It was very peaceful.
Yeah.
We just needed a government like that, basically, in a way. We need a strong central government, not a federal government that's separating everyone into regional state. Every region thinks they're the most powerful or something. You know what I mean? Everyone's competing against each other.
Yeah, but the way things are right now, you will not have centralism. It's literally close to impossible.
It's happened many times before in our history. I don't know why it would be impossible today. We've been united so many times before in our history.
Have we been united? We were only united for 30 years.
No, even before. Whenever we fought the Ethiopians, I can assume it was Muslims versus Christians. So it was all the Muslims would unite to fight against the Christians.
That's not really a government. That's a
tribal
alliance between certain tribes who live together.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people.
That was two tribal alliances. No, but that wasn't all of them. You see, it's tribal alliances fighting certain tribes and other ethnic groups in certain areas and so on and so forth. There's never really been a government that rules over the entire ethnic group.
I'm talking about the Great Wars, like when the British came, when the Portugal came. When I'm not talking about small skirmishes. I'm talking about the major wars when a lot of Somalians died.
Yes, but even when the Portuguese came, for example, it was different sultanates fighting against them in different areas. Or Senegalese Sultanate, or for example.
But it was seen as the Somali people on one side.
Or maybe. But you say that, but they're so divided. Yeah, but
it was Somali people on one side versus the enemy on the other side.